to our very first virtual strategy summit. As most of you would know, my name is Bronwyn Pretorius and I am your head of marketing. But today I will also be your MC. I want to see you guys go wild. Show me your Mukuru spirit. Go crazy. Clap some more, guys. This is going to be an exciting day. So, unless you've wandered into the wrong Zoom room, you'll know that a lucky 7 will talk to you today about topics involving bushwhacking and strategy for the year ahead. Did I just say bushwhacking? You bet! But bear with me, guys. We'll get there soon. If you're not strapped in, now is the time. Also, just a reminder to keep your cameras on at all times so that we can see your lovely faces and Mukuru energy through the screens. We're going to be summiting in true Mukuru style. This means you're going to have fun. If you like the jokes and entertainment, especially from me, please people, laugh out loud. It might feel a little bit weird at first, but in the true Mukuru spirit, we encourage you to go for it. Also, just a reminder to take photos of your Mukuru Spirit outfits and use the hashtag MukuruSpirit21 on Instagram to win some amazing prizes. Please, no taking photos of any presentation slides, only your outfits. Now, on to business. When you were interviewed for a job at Mukuru, somebody told you you were heading into a dynamic, challenging work environment. They might even have given you a hint that Mukuru is not your usual business. Then you got the job. Congratulations, and realized what this really meant. Mukuru is unconventional, atypical, full of heart, innovative, and dare we say, pioneering. Yes, of course, in its thinking, in the way it does business, and how it treats its people. First up, dialing all the way from a chilly UK, let's give to you our CEO, Andy Jury. But first, guys, let's watch a little bit of a video about him. Over to the video.
The Mukuru spirit. As a Mukuru manager once famously said, working at Mukuru is like being on board an off-road vehicle that's flying through the bush with a little trailer bouncing behind. Remember the bushwhacking? So this makes Andy Jury Chief Navigator. Checking out the stretch of bush ahead, explaining the way forward, making sure we stick to the path and get back on track when we veered off course. The job also involves missing rocks and swerving round bushes amid calls of encouragement, some grunts and shrieks, and the odd backseat driver. All this while never losing a Yoda like cool. So, while some call him AJ and others Andy, we know him as our dream alchemist and decisions daddy-o. Please give a thumbs up for Mukuru's fearless leader and Chief Navigator Extraordinaire, Andy Jury.
Yes, that is our AJ Andy, and some call him a true amazing innovator. Let's welcome our CEO once again, Andy Jury from a chilly UK. Hi, Andy. How are you?
Morning, Bron. I'm very well, thanks.
I'm loving your spirit.
There's a South African variant on the loose here in the UK, so I'm just taking extra precautions.
I can see that you're looking fantastic. So I'm excited to hear all about what our plans are for the next year. Over to you, Andy.
Thanks, Bron. United Mukuru Nation, good morning. Sabona, Dumela, Moni, Molo, Hola, Bonjour, Omoro. It's wonderful to see so many faces, albeit on the back end of computer screens. I know this is usually a time where we all get together to have fun, fellowship, and focus. As we all know, the COVID craziness of the last 12 months or so has made that impossible. But it's just amazing to have everybody in one place today. We've got lots to celebrate. 2020 was just an incredible year. We took that map book, we ripped it up, and we drew our own maps. And so there's so much that we can celebrate in the rearview mirror. There's also a lot to look forward to in terms of 2021 and the year beyond as we look to build and capitalize on this momentum. Before we dive into the details, though, let's just remind ourselves of where we are in our journey and take a look at a quick video that gives us a good summary.
2020, a seriously crazy year for all of us. Forced apart, we stood together. Facing the unknown, we got braver. Coming up against obstacles, we found a way. We got through them, and it made us stronger. When we face things that make us uncomfortable, things that disrupt our world, when we overcome challenges, that's how we grow. That's Mukuru spirit. We become better versions of ourselves, versions with the experience to get through difficulties. We become stronger, more resilient. We showed that when something can't be done, we adapt, we innovate, and we get it done. We grow, and we're better prepared to thrive into the future. That's Mukuru spirit. We showed that together, we can do anything. 2020 put us to the test, and we showed what we could do together as one, growing against the odds. Working from home, our call center cut down our response time. Introducing WhatsApp self-sign-up, we gained over 40,000 new customers, adding 300 new members to our staff family when other companies were closing doors. Acquiring Zona Malawi, we expanded our Orange Booth network to over 800. Now, even more customers have access to our brand in both rural and urban areas. And we didn't stop there. We joined forces with World Remit. Now families from 50 countries around the world, including USA, Australia, and New Zealand, can send home to Zimbabwe, Botswana, Malawi, Zambia, and Mozambique. With global lockdowns, articles circulated that remittance services would collapse. Instead, we innovated, took on more projects, and grew, even boosting countries' economies. We showed what we're capable of to such a degree that UN-affiliated humanitarian organizations asked us to help send aid to people in need. Mukuru Spirit is caring for our customers and being there for them whenever they need us. Through it all, in all we do, we listen to what our customers need first, doing everything we can to give it to them. When they call on us, we answer. Zim asked for rands, and we gave it to them. When there was a serious shortage of basic commodities in Zimbabwe, we partnered with leading brand Metro Peach and launched Mukuru groceries in just 90 days. As our leader Andy once said, when innovation and resilience are part of your DNA, you can truly serve your customers when it matters most. In 2020, we showed that together, we're greater. That's the Mukuru spirit. Our UK customer base increased by 100%. And to top it all, we closed the year out with 1.4 million transactions in December, resulting in more than one transaction per second leading up to Christmas. Whoa! In 2021, we'll keep growing together. Because we've got Mukuru spirit, the spirit to keep going, the spirit to give it our all for each other, the spirit to grow and to innovate together. In 2021, we're pushing even harder to make financial inclusivity a reality. We'll bridge the physical and digital divide to provide more products to our customers and help them realize their dreams. We'll put effort behind the Mukuru Money Card launch, kick off Mukuru Loans, and launch the Botswana and Malawi wallet. The X-Cali system will help us serve our customers even better. We'll create more self-help options, introduce the Refer a Friend rewards program, give our customers better offerings like Mukuru Orange Booths for both senders and receivers, and our loyal customers will get order discounts. Plus, we'll roll out the new Mukuru Agent app and new UK website, and grow our footprint even more with new pay-in and payout partners. With all our plans, we make sure we take care of our customers and each other. We'll be safer and lower the risk by being even more security conscious. We'll protect our customers and improve our systems and infrastructure using the Active Directory. And we'll give back to the world. Mukuru Spirit means doing what's right. And that means putting our customers first, always. In 2021, we'll boost the enterprise payments platform to help get money to the people who need it most. And we'll launch our CSI department. There's so much to look forward to. Bring on 2021. Thanks to our Mukuru family, we grew so much in 2020. We showed what we're made of. We're made of determination to keep going no matter what. Hope to keep believing in a better tomorrow. And courage to take on whatever comes our way. We showed that we're made of heart to honor and respect our people, wisdom to innovate, and the resilience to rise up stronger. This year, nothing can stand in our way. Because when you put all these things together, all of you together, we can achieve greatness. Because we have Mukuru Spirit. Mukuru, more than money transfers.
Take a bow, Mukuru Nation. I don't know about you, but watching that really just gives me goosebumps. It's amazing to think of the journey that we've embarked on. And before we go any further, I think we all need to say congratulations and thank you to each other and ourselves, and give ourselves a big round of applause. Let's see some waving of hands and some celebration. It's just wonderful to see the smiles that are encapsulated in our customers. It's fantastic to celebrate and see those smiles. It really is, encapsulating the thought of what we do, which is bridging borders and fueling dreams. I want to take a couple of minutes to set today up and to just focus on some of our achievements in the last 12 months, and to really then, I suppose, put the overarching umbrella of how we see the year and beyond unfolding, and we'll unpack it with the range of speakers throughout the day. But if you just take stock for a moment and look at some of the headlines that we've managed to achieve over the last couple of years, being able to touch on 7 million customers as senders and receivers, building up to 3,000 plus employees. I think we hired 430 people last year in the midst of the pandemic. So to be able to do that online, digitally, socially distanced, etc., and bring people into our Mukuru culture is an amazing thing. There are just a number of incredible headlines there. The fact that we've got to 1.4 million transactions in December, 160,000 active card users in South Africa, over 100 live corridors. And for me, the one that I was really looking forward to is sending more than a transaction per second in the days leading up to Christmas at the end of last year was just unbelievable. And if you broaden that out, a lot of this has to do with the fact that we spent a lot of time and energy building our network, which is starting to reach across not only Africa, but the globe. If we can roll to the next graphic that demonstrates that, please. The green and orange are places where we have a footprint, orange being where you can send and receive, green where you can receive, and then the gray area represents where I'm sitting at the moment, I think because it's chilly and very, very cold this morning, but that is a territory we can only send out from at this point in time. And our focus is going to be on painting Africa orange and ensuring that we can broaden our physical and digital network across the length and breadth of our continent, and ensure that we can harness the large flows that flow from the UK and the EU into Africa, as well as ensuring that on our own rails we can look to send money from Africa to South Asia. And then the rest of the globe, what we really want to do is to ensure that we can partner with world-class money transfer operators like ourselves to ensure that we can bring the world to Africa, and so doing ensure that we've got worldwide reach. All along, what we are fundamentally trying to do is to improve the financial services experience of our customers as they leapfrog into the world of new financial products, digitally enabled. This is underpinned by 4 key cornerstones of our service offering. That being that it has to be affordable because it's got to be relevant. We're driving convenience versus some of the alternatives where there's massive opportunity cost. We want to ensure that it is fast and seamless and instantaneous, that if you want to send money from Bloemfontein to Gweru, that the money is instantaneously available immediately you've paid it in. And it has to be fundamentally trusted and secure. We can build the coolest thing in the world, but if our customers don't trust our brand, if they don't recognize that we say what we do and that we're focused on customer service first, then it is all to naught. And ultimately, if you look on the right-hand side here, we are about taking our customers on a journey, walking with them on their journey of financial inclusion. And so many of the customers, as we all know, will come to us from a cash-to-cash world almost entirely. We digitize their onboarding, we digitize the communication that we have, we make extensive use of mobile technologies, and over a period of time, we walk a journey with them that becomes increasingly digitalized as they become more familiar and comfortable with our proposition, to the point where if you can give somebody a wallet or card on the sending side and a wallet or card on the receiving side, you can digitalize the entire financial engagement that we have with them. And that is ultimately our goal, to increase the level of digitalization, because it drives benefit not only for our customers, but also for ourselves in terms of our service delivery, over the course of the next 24 to 36 months. But if we just take stock for a second, what we like to kind of distill things into simple buckets, and we spent a lot of time thinking about what we've learned as a result of that, what we incrementally value, and how that shapes our forward thinking. And I just want to unpack each of these a little bit, because I think it is, whilst it might be stating the obvious, it sets up a set of principles that help us to make decisions as we continue to want to accelerate. If we unpack into what we've learned and take stock of the roller coaster ride we've had in the last 12 months, I think it's fair to say that we do have a cracking, scalable business model. It is, self-evident in how we've managed to scale the top line and the bottom line when times are good. It is also, a reflection of how we were able to deal with the pain that came initially from COVID, and be able to respond so well. Our positioning at the intersection of the informal and the formal markets creates a massive opportunity in the financial services journey of many of our customers, not only to do cross-border money transfers, to provide them a broad suite of financial services. We want to continue to diversify the customer bases, the geographies we serve, and the type of products that we can vend to those customers, because it adds resilience. Along this journey, the construct of self-help and digitization is going to escalate, particularly as people look for more efficient ways of doing their financial services, and potentially because they want to reduce human contact and deal with social distancing. We've seen great support from the partnership we had initially with WorldRemit, others to come, in terms of being able to participate in the north-south flows, so flows coming from the Northern Hemisphere to Africa, because it creates resilience. Everybody knows how hard decisions can bite, but I think with hindsight, being able to make decisions quickly, being able to take pain, and then being able to leverage off those, particularly the one that I think touched all of us when we had to take reductions for 2 months, is just an evidence of how quickly we can move, how amazing it is to have everybody to buy in, and thankfully how quickly we could unwind those things. And ultimately, I think for us, if I reflect on that, honesty and bravery are a powerful cocktail, not only in our engagements with ourselves, particularly when times are hard, but also in terms of engaging with our customers. And if we use that to transition into what we incrementally value as a result of some of the lessons we learned, I think number one has to be listening to our customers. We were able to respond, drive high levels of innovation, bring new products to market very quickly, because we listened to what our customers want. They asked for groceries and we gave them. They were banging the door down to get ZAR flowing back into Zimbabwe, and we gave it to them. And we've increased the product suite, not because we built things that we think are cool, because we wanted to chase bright, shiny objects, because we fundamentally want to improve the lives of our customers and provide the services that they're asking for. I think the priceless orange energy of our people is going to be reflected time and again, not only today, but in the forthcoming years and months, as we think about the journey that we're on. And it's, it manifests in us talking about painting Africa orange. It manifests in how people lean in. It manifests in the fact that, they're prepared to wake up at 4 o'clock on a Saturday morning or work through the night to try and solve problems for our customers. And that is something that no business can buy. It's something that we need to cherish. It is something that each of us are responsible for contributing to and benefiting from. And is one of the key things that makes Mukuru such an amazing place to work. And I don't think we could ever put a value on that. Agility in terms of making decisions quickly is going to continue to be a key thing. I mentioned that we've scaled, we added 430 people to our headcount. We've got north of 3,000 people across something like 12 jurisdictions. Those make it ever increasingly difficult to stay agile. There are lots of things that can deflect your attention. You can, do business with yourself and build all sorts of bureaucracy. But ultimately, I think the thing that has really stood us in good stead from our founders down is the ability to be agile, to chase opportunities, to know when to focus and to know when to broaden. We spend a lot of time and energy as a senior leadership team making sure that we can stay focused on that. And through it all, clear communication is critical. Again, internally within the business, and I think we demonstrated that when times were hard, and hopefully when times are good as well. I think we need to do more more in terms of regular updates from a strategic perspective. And so watch the space in terms of some town halls and things like that that are going to come on a quarterly basis. But continuing to make sure that we can clearly articulate our message internally and externally in terms of how we engage with our customers is something that we spend a lot of time and energy on. And if we look at what we've learned, what we value, and how this shapes our forward thinking, and you will see a lot of this handwriting coming through in the things that we talk about today. Our strength in remittances, not only in the international cross-border stuff, but increasingly so in domestic, gives us a natural springboard into other payments elements. It's I suppose the competence we have in last mile delivery is something that gave us the confidence to participate in the enterprise payment programs to win some of the aid contracts, which we'll talk about. And there's a broader set of payment use cases that we can put our skill set in terms of our digital and financial infrastructure, our first mile, and our technology too. We want to continue to fast track the wallet. Mike will speak in a bit about where we're taking the wallet to. We're about to start rolling it out in a soft launch in Botswana. And the thinking is that we want to take that construct to all the places in SADC and surrounds where we have first and last mile presence and strength, because this is a key element of this continuous walking a journey with our customer base. We love the idea of partnerships with other players that bring a strength that we don't necessarily have either in terms of geography or customer focus, and we're going to continue to drive those because those synergies drive straight to the bottom line, as we've seen in our partnership with World Remit, where they have a first mile presence in places that we don't necessarily have, but we have last mile strength, and you put those two together and it's like turning on a hose pipe. I think I mentioned the Pan-African network. We're not only a business that sends money from South Africa to Zimbabwe, where it is that we anchor our thoughts. We now have over 100 corridors. We truly want to be a Pan-African business in terms of the way in which we think, act, and drive solutions for our customers. The UK outbound is one of the richest sources of remittance flows into Africa. It is amazing to see how our business has grown tenfold there in the last 2 years. With very little attention in the front end. And so one of the themes that will come through is a re-architecting of our digital first mile, which is going to be trialed in the UK in the second half of this year. It is a very, very big source of opportunity. It also gives us access to hard currency earnings, which from a business perspective are fantastic. And, I think one of the things that is core to our DNA is that we thrive where others see only chaos. And I think the intensity, if you cast your mind back to what happened in the early days of the COVID lockdown crisis, makes that self-evident. We continue to see opportunity in these dislocations and crazy times that we live in, and we want to ensure that we can harness those to our advantage. I realize that that creates all sorts of interesting implications in terms of how we work. And I think the fact that, we are continuing to invest in our people, we're continuing to invest in our base of employees is evidence of the fact that we're not just expecting people to work harder, crazier, longer hours, etc. We want to build a business that can continue to harness these opportunities. And this all, I suppose, is wrapped up in a general attitude of acceleration. We saw incredible acceleration last year. We continue to see, large untapped reservoirs of white space around our business, and we're going to think very hard about how we sequence our efforts to continue to harness those opportunities and drive the acceleration. If we change tack slightly and take a step back and look at what we've built over the course of the last 17 years. And how our why is unfolding, really in our minds distills down to three things. We have built an incredible set of customer engagement platforms, not only the digital ones, but also the physical ones. So, this stretches from USSD on one end through WhatsApp app online, but also our physical engagement with our customers in terms of our field and contact center agents. The ability to engage with the customer either through them, pulling an interaction with us or us looking to push an interaction with them in an African context is almost unparalleled. The fact that we can speak 34 languages in the United Nations of our contact center is also just amazing. And so the ability to engage with customers is one thing. At the same time, we are relatively unique potentially in terms of fintechs around the world in that we've built not only a digital infrastructure, but also a physical infrastructure to deliver our product proposition. And so we talk about bridging the physical and digital divide, taking cash and digital or being half digital, etc. And our network of booths and branches, our network engagements with partners, our payments infrastructure backbone, that really, if you distill it down to its core atomic elements, we could do any type of payment because we can create an order, we can accept payment, and we can settle it on the other side. Coupled with our wallet gives us incredible flexibility in terms of the product suite that we want to offer. And so if you take those two together, the customer engagement platforms, how we engage with customers, how we sell our products, how we deal with their queries, you underpin it by this incredible asset that is this digital and physical payments infrastructure that we built initially to serve international remittances, but increasingly so we can put to a broad suite of alternative uses. You get, I suppose, that intersection of customer value propositions, which is our products and services. And those range across remittances, the Mukuru card and wallet, where we are enabling people to have a digital store of value and to then be able to transact digitally. Insurance, VAS, and other financial service offerings, potentially savings and investments, for example. And then the additional layer that we've had great success with in the last 12 months into utilizing the white space in our infrastructure to assist other businesses or entities with payments, the enterprise aid payments, for example, with UNICEF, World Food Programme, IOM, etc., is an example of that, and an increasing suite of other local payment methods that we look to offer. None of this means anything if it is an empty vessel, because they make the most sound. And so, the other key sort of cornerstone of our business opportunity is the fact that we've got a customer base of 7 million people plus who use and touch our system as senders and receivers, and increasingly is people to whom we can vend a broader suite of financial services, and the trust that they imbue in our brand and associate with the way in which we do things is amazing. That is something that is very, it's difficult to create. It can perish, but it's something that over a long period of time we've demonstrated consistency and reliability in terms of how we engage with them. And it really is an amazing thing. It's very, very hard to replicate, and it gives us a moat, which is a sort of popular management term at this point in time. And so if we convert these things into hopefully, something that is familiar to you if you were at the Strat Summit last year, our strategy house, which I suppose encapsulates our strategic objectives. In the past, we've been perhaps guilty of starting with a product offering because those are the things that are most stimulating in terms of newness and things that we can design. But really what we have tried to do over the last 24 months is to ensure that we focus all our strategic thinking around how we can service the customer. And so the overarching thought here is ensuring that everything we do engages with the customer in terms of delivering world-class customer service to them. The most important, I suppose, overarching piece of that framework is ensuring that they understand who we are, because we can build the coolest things in the world, but if we can't engage with our customers, then that doesn't amount to much. And so we've spent a lot of time, energy, and investment ensuring that we can, get our brand out there, ensure that there's higher degrees of awareness, ensure that we're engaging with places where they expect us to engage, and that we can demonstrate the strength that we have. One of the most amazing things to see was during the lockdown in that April period when we were struggling to engage with customers, how after we went on TV to advertise our self-service actions, there was an amazing movement, not only from new customers, but also existing ones to use our service. And one of those things was because they saw that we were big enough and brave enough to demonstrate that we still had strength in our business, could advertise on television, and that we could hang with the big dogs. And that is something we're going to continue to look to do as we go forward. The four, I suppose, delivery elements and the places where we work and functions that stand as the pillars of our strategic objectives. Regulatory and compliance framework we'll talk about a little later. We've built a strength and a capability in this area in terms of the expertise of our people, the tech and the processes that are embedded in our core daily engagements with customers, as opposed to being a sort of afterthought that is added on our outside. That continues to be front and center. There are a lot of things around security, customer data, etc., that we're looking to build and develop the capabilities we have there. Tech and BI as a fintech, I suppose this is a number one shining light in terms of where we have expertise. And then Sans and Mike and the teams, we continue to believe that we get agility, flexibility, and speed by building our own dev capabilities as opposed to outsourcing them. We will look to continue to drive deep investment there. Our product offerings we're going to talk about at length today. But everybody is well aware of the efforts that we continue to make to ensure that we can extend the breadth of our remittance corridors, our customers that we can bring to our ecosystem, and the types of financial service products we can offer them. And ultimately, none of this would be possible without our people. They are our true asset that sets us apart. We started on a journey in terms of unfolding a people plan last year, and Chaps is going to talk you through some of the key highlights there in terms of how we continue to look to ensure that we can, create an amazing work environment, continue to invest in our people, grow them and train them, and take the business forward from there. Our strategic objectives, I think, in terms of how you distill this down to rubber that meets the road and actions in terms of how we engage. Last year we had 7. This year we've consolidated 2 of those into 2 other ones, and so we have 5. These are no different. You should recognize the terminology by and large, and I think this is a commitment to demonstrating that we want to be consistent in terms of the things we focus on and how we execute. There might be adjustments on the fringes in terms of how that manifests on the ground as we continue to look to be opportunistic and harness opportunities that come our ways. But fundamentally, when we go to sleep at night, these are the sort of elevator pitches in terms of the things that we want to do to ensure that our opportunity to reach our full potential unfolds appropriately. Bron will talk to you about building the Mukuru brand and the efforts that we've undertaken in the last 12 months, and also what we're going to do looking forward. Shaps is going to talk to you about how we invest in talent and some of the key undertakings and exciting things we're doing there, particularly as we look to digitize the way in which we vend training and learning. I think central to all of this is our sales and operations teams and how we refine our go-to-market and our customer experience and look to address some of the pain points that manifest in some of the ways in which our customers engage, which, because we're dealing with hundreds of thousands of customers and 1.4 million remittance transactions a month, mean that what used to be a small problem that only happened 5 or 10 times a month is now something we need to address. Sans will touch on some of the work that our teams are doing in terms of evolving, recognizing and evolving with business risks. This is not an absolute. It's not a road that you can ever reach the end of your destination. We're going to continue to have to evolve with new market trends, new things that we see coming in. And rather than it being a retrospective thing that we fit into existing business processes, it's something that we look to think about when we start the design of things, and is going to continue to evolve in that. And then fundamentally, we're building a business because we want to harness growth opportunities. We want to make our business one of the preeminent brands across the African continent, not only in financial services, but all brands. And those are lofty ideals. And in order to do that, we really have to ensure that we can harness the growth opportunities through the levers we have as they come. And I'm going to spend a couple of minutes just highlighting 1 or 2 of those. I realize that in the time frame allotted to us, we can't go to any level of depth that we at Mukuru love to do, because we love to examine things at 10,000 leagues under the sea. But today what we're trying to do is to provide you with the overarching framework and maybe a couple of big super bullet points that you can keep in your head. We will engage with you through the various forums we have to ensure that we can give everybody the opportunity to unpack these thoughts in more detail. to hear feedback and to ensure that we can collate those. But really what we're trying to do is to provide this sort of overarching umbrella framework for this. Now, our growth levers, we've tried to distill them into, I suppose, 3 road signs. We've got grow the core and ramp the network, leverage the platform in terms of the additional opportunities that come from having a strong core, and then incubating growth. And I suppose the intention is that the stuff in grow the core and ramp the network is stuff that comes off the rails in the near term, like in the next 12 to 24 months. And some of the things under the incubate growth column are, I suppose, ensuring that we look to future-proof or stay ahead of the game in terms of providing goods and services, but they won't necessarily have an impact on the bottom line in the near term. But as we all know, disruptions in the sort of area of the world in which we live and mean that you have to harness opportunities. And so sometimes, as we've seen last year, where groceries or enterprise payments was deeply in incubate growth, we thought there was something that was far away on the horizon. It accelerate overnight to being a core part of the business. And so having that flexibility and that dexterity is important to us, whilst acknowledging that some of those things are going to be further afield. Growing the core is really about ensuring that we can protect the core. We can protect the cash cows. We can protect the strength of which our business is built, but continue to expand that network geographically and do so at a low marginal cost. We've had a lot of success in building out our own first and last miles because we have become so adept and efficient at doing that very effectively. And so our lion corridors, the ones that pay the sort of bills first and foremost, SA Zim and SA Malawi, we never want to lose focus from those, because those are where we continue to have, exceptional growth coming from very well-articulated corridors. Some, have written them off as being mature long ago, and we continue to find new ways of engaging with customers. I think a lot of that is because we are drawing our core source of new customers from informal market, and as we demonstrate that we can provide services that stand toe-to-toe with those and improve upon them, they continue to provide us a great source of customers. Lighting up the matrix is a term that people have heard previously. I think we probably in the past try to go too broad too quickly, and so if anybody's having an allergic reaction, please don't. This is as a result of being able to invest in core capabilities, things like remittance corridors, things like cash stops, things like the booths themselves. And we now have an opportunity to really grow our footprint across all the territories in Southern Africa that we have licensing, and it's going to be a key future source of growth as we want to get, Mukuru as a brand across Africa. Booths everywhere underpins this. The fact that we could do 60 booths between 10 o'clock at night and 2 a.m. in the morning, under the cover of moonlight in Malawi 18 months ago, has given us the comfort that we can drive our network out there very, very quickly and put it to an unbelievable customer service capability. And so you will have seen that we've extended the reach of our booths to places like Zambia, Lesotho, Mozambique, and that is going to continue both in those countries and new territories. I've spoken about turbocharging the first mile in terms of the source of opportunity and also the hard currency earnings. We have some specific projects on the go at the moment to ensure that we can rewrite the tech capabilities to underpin the first mile. And then turning on new key African territories beyond, I suppose, our traditional heartland. Those don't necessarily start at the top and come down. They generally are country by country as we look to increase our reach. And so, places like Uganda, other territories that we already have licenses for and beyond, we're looking at. Leveraging the platform is really about converting our money transfer strength into a durable local payments network. I've talked about, our digital capabilities, the first and last mile, and the fact that, for many people, we can bridge that digital divide, not necessarily just for a remittance or a money transfer product, but if they want to collect an aid payout, as we've been doing with the enterprise payments partnerships we've had, if they want to collect a grant to enable them to plant seeds, if they want to collect money as part of the agricultural supply chain for crops that they've grown and passed on to the supply chain. If they want to pay an insurance payment, the sort of list of opportunities is limitless. Ollie will touch on some of these later. And so really what this is about ensuring that we can walletize customers where we want to, because that enables us to ensure we can take them on that digitized journey, but that we look to use cases to monetize our distribution network. We talk about the white space. If you think about a remittance cycle across a month, it's very, very busy at our booths at the beginning of the month and the end of the month. And there's a slight lag perhaps in flows in the middle of the month. And so how we can look to utilize that white space and those capabilities, is why we're shining a light on these sorts of things. And so aggregated binds, which is, I suppose, our shorthand terminology for partnering with other money transfer operators in the rest of the world, and look to bring first the world to Africa, but also take Africa to the world and see whether there are flows in the other direction, so we can truly get worldwide coverage without losing the focus of where we want to spend our daily energies, that being the African continent. Enterprise payout, as spoken, and then bill settlement or pay-in, which is really the broad other set of payment use cases, where we can use either our physical infrastructure if people don't necessarily have a wallet or don't necessarily want to transact in their world and still want to transact in cash to settle a bill, or as we hope to take them on a journey to do that off their wallets or cards. And then the incubate growth, some might call it research and development, but this is critical if we want to continue to stay at the forefront of offering world-class financial services in an African context. And so we are looking to incrementally invest in new opportunities and do it in an environment where we know that there's something there. We don't necessarily have to look to get a return from it on day one, but how do we go about that process of incubating? So designing something, testing, learning, being prepared to fail, to re-examine, and to do that in such a manner where it doesn't become a distraction to the core. It doesn't become a bright, shiny object where we lurch from new cool thing to new cool thing and lose focus of what really is the thing that delivers value to our customers right now, but do it in such a manner that we can take those learnings and ensure that we infuse them in the core going forward. And so we have set up a product incubation team that Kat Danoon-Stevens is heading up. Many of you will have met her. That's going to continue to be their focus in terms of how we drive things up. One of the things they're looking at is funeral insurance. That is not necessarily a new product, but is something that is, if we're honest with ourselves, eddied, in a portion of our landscape that we haven't necessarily given it the full attention, and it is a great opportunity. We do have to do some things to re-engineer the way in which we deliver that product. We're going to test a range of other potential insurance opportunities, not necessarily actively in the core, but to do the work to try and size the opportunities there. We are actively going to look at undertaking loans and savings pilots in the next 6 months. We've dedicated a development team to look at that. We don't want to become a that is predicated on extending money irresponsibly to people who can't afford it, but there is an incredible unlock here in terms of helping people with capital intensive acquisitions or life-changing engagements where the provision of credit responsibly creates massive potential for them and for ourselves. The other side of that coin is offering savings products initially in cash, but also looking at whether we can test alternative savings products. You don't, so if you see one, you see 5 articles at the moment in the popular press about alternative savings products, things like Bitcoin, other crypto elements, offshore wallets and whatnot. And that is something that is becoming increasingly relevant for our ecosystem in terms of our strength and capabilities and also those of our customers. And so, those are really exciting new opportunities that we want to come at in a structured fashion such that we can learn, ensure that we can, harness the value where they see them and plug them into the core. By looking to get some balance across those elements, there's 24, 36, 48 months of real opportunity that drives supreme incremental hyper growth ahead of us. The key is going to be how we can sequence that. how we can make sure that we invest in the right capabilities, not only in terms of developers, but across the house in terms of people, how we can operationalize those, and how we can bring them into the fold alongside our sort of daily core at this point in time. Ron, I think that's it in a nutshell in terms of the overarching opportunity set and how we look at growth levers.
Thank you so much, Andy. That is extremely exciting. And I hope you guys at home are as excited as I am about the new year and all of the plans that we have from innovation, especially what Andy has just said. We are going to dominate in the next 12 to 24 months. Show me some Mukuru spirit at home, guys. Show me. I want to see all of your outfits, all of your smiles, all of your finger taps, your finger clicks. Show me. I'm excited. Let's continue with the rest of the show. So, as the founder of Forbes magazine once said, the smart ones ask when they don't know, and sometimes when they do. In the meantime, Andy, we have a question from one of the smart ones. Dwayne in training, who asks, have we thought about remittance flows from America?
Dwayne, great question. We certainly have. We think about it often. It's one of the key sources of flows into Africa that we want to look to tap through our partnerships with international money transfer operators. I think the sort of the balance between looking at the opportunity set and focusing on the our areas of core expertise has led us to think that that's not necessarily an area where we have the knowledge, the understanding and the focus to develop our own first mile over the next 3 to 5 years. We do recognize that there's an opportunity there, but we want to partner with world-class partners, Northern Hemisphere operators that have presences in places like North America, the US in particular, that understand the regulatory requirements and can drive the first mile investment, and we will provide the last mile expertise and sophistication in terms of how we operate in an African context to create a seamless partnership with them.
That's wonderful, Andy. Put me on a plane to the States when we decide to do that, hey? I should be first in line. Then we have another question from Tasneem in legal. She asks, there are quite a few new remittance partners that have come into play, and how is Mukuru staying ahead of its competition?
Great question, Taz. Jeez, with friends like these, who needs enemies? I think one of the things that sets us apart, I spoke about it a fair amount of length through the course of the presentation, is having a digital and physical infrastructure that we've invested in over the course of nearly 2 decades across SADC and more increasingly Southern Africa. That is something that sets us apart. There are lots of other newcomers to the market. Some of them have digital-only propositions. Some of them focus on a single corridor. And I think what really sets us apart is we are building a Pan-African network that combines the digital engagement with the physical environment. And so the fact that we've got an orange Mukuru booth in the northern reaches of Malawi or Zambia or in Maputo in Mozambique means that people see a physical manifestation of our business. They start to trust us, and the more they trust our physical legs, the more inclined they are to use our digital service. And so we believe the balance and the harmony between those two is the thing that really sets us apart, combined with our assets in terms of the licenses we have, the time that it's taken to build this infrastructure. It's quite difficult to replicate from a standing start.
Thank you, Andy. Such amazing questions, as you've said. And if you guys at home want to pose any more questions to the speakers, use the chat and tell us what you want to know from any of our speakers, and we'll answer a few of them at the end of the show. Now, thank you, our Chief Navigator, AJ. We'll see you a little bit later. Now, would you do me the honor of introducing our next guest, please, Andy, before you leave?
Certainly an honor, Bram. I'm just going to make sure that my sleep looks good here. Yes, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you just love the branding on the Mukuru off-roader? The pop of orange side mirror socks, one side advertising on the Mukuru card, the other groceries, flags waving from the windows, getting the perfect wave for an unforgettable message at just the right time. People stopping in their tracks, lining the dirt paths to catch a glimpse of Mukuru colors that flies by. It takes strategy, planning, split-second reflexes, and trailer loads of creativity to get it right. And 12 years of practice in marketing at one of Africa's largest big kahuna retailers, I don't know who they are, to build that kind of marketing muscle, to wave the Mukuru flag and make the circle bigger. How does she do it? After studying marketing management, digital and project management, our intrepid head marketer in Jedi status in strategic planning and implementation across multiple brands and consumer segments. Here's the secret. All this is backed by an uncanny ability to multitask. In fact, her team think that she has a body double. How else could she email, Zoom, WhatsApp at the same time? Ladies and gentlemen, please give a thumbs up for our brand warrior, today's MC, and the wizard of lightbulb moments, Bronwyn Pretorius.
Thanks so much, Andy. I really appreciate that intro. I want to see you a little bit later, so let me get into my marketing presentation. Thank you, Chief Navigator. Chat later. So now it's my turn, guys. I know I was your MC 5 minutes ago, and now I'm doing the head of marketing spiel, but it's really exciting stuff that we have going down for the year of 2021. I think lots of people ask the question, what is marketing? And Philip Kotler defines marketing as the science and art of exploring, creating, and delivering value to satisfy the needs of a target market. Marketing identifies unfulfilled needs and desires of our customers. It defines, measures, and quantifies the size of the identifiable market. What do we do as Mukuru? We're just not your standard marketers. No, we're not. We do emotional marketing. What does emotional marketing or branding mean? It means it's the process of forming a relationship between a customer and a product or brand by provoking those emotions. We achieve this by creating content that appeals to the consumer's emotional state, ego, needs, and aspirations. So why, you would say, why emotional marketing? And I'm not talking about only the soft, touchy-feely kind of stuff. Emotions have a huge role to play when it comes to marketing. We do emotional marketing because when you leave an emotional impact on your audience, your brand and your content will stick in their minds. Yes, it will. When customers are emotionally connected to you, they'll reward you with their loyalty and advocacy. We know that, and we see that all the time when we see comments on our social media platforms about how much people actually love Mukuru. It can influence a decision and urge people to act. It inspires people to take specific actions, enables a brand to form a deep connection. Now, deep connection is extremely important when it comes to marketing. You can't just market and leave. We need to form a relationship with our customers, understand who they are, what their stories are, why they do what they do, and that is how we form a deep connection. Ads with an above average emotional response with consumers, according to a 2016 Nielsen display, says that consumers cause a 23% higher sales increase compared to those average ads that do not use emotional marketing to connect to their customers. Mukuru brand, though, we have been very successful from founder years when we have said that we are successful at appealing to our customers. Emotions, because what we do is more than just a money transfer. It's more than just a transaction. It is emotive. And once you understand why that money transfer occurs, you'll understand why the emotion is so much more important at play for our customers. We don't use emotion as a tactic, not as a tactic at all. It's in our DNA to service our customers' needs. Yes, to service and understand their stories and to make it relevant to them. We market relevant marketing content to them, not things that we're trying to force them to do. We market relevant content to what they need and what they want at that present time. We are not just a service, but an enabler of so much more. And there's a story behind each of our customers' transactions. It's, as I said, it's not just a transaction, it's so much more. And we understand that. Who we are, I put it into 3 simple terms. We are a problem solver for the unbanked. We're an enabler of financial access and a partner for our customers to financial freedom. And what about great brands? People say, or scientists have said, that great brands show peace of mind. They provide our customers peace of mind. And us as consumers, we want comfort, happiness, satisfaction in their lives. If the brands they use consistently deliver positive experiences, consumers from an opinion that is a brand that is trustworthy, would give them peace of mind, we will be able to convert them into loyal customers and brand advocates at the end of the day. The Mukuru brand does just that. And just one stat, if I can give you one stat, January 2021 alone, the top voice of the customer comments recorded over 70% compliments. Not complaints, 70% compliments. That is unbelievable and unheard of when it comes to other brands. And these are some of the things that our customers say to us regularly, just on social media platforms. I've met people in person, face to face, that find out I'm working at Mukuru, and they are so excited that I'm working at a brand that services them, that they trust, that can give them a service that enables them to send back so much more than just money. What do some of our customers have to say? Mukuru is #1. Best ever. I never struggle with Mukuru. I love you. You're more than just a money transfer. I did it on the app. The app is very good, and security is good. Security, we're a safe industry, we're a safe business, and we offer you safety, which is very key to our customers. I'm so grateful to have Mukuru Money Transfer. I receive money home so easily. So easy. Another point of differentiation between us and our competitors. Ease is at our DNA. So how do we affirm peace of mind when it comes to our customers and our customer marketing? We always start with a customer at the core. We market relevant products to the right customer. Then we focus on value, world-class service and value. Value that is also relevant to our customers so that they feel that they're always getting something out from our brands, from our marketing, from our campaigns. Access, we're more than just money transfers. And then connection. We should always show, and what we aim to always do is show our customers we understand you. We're an African business by Africans for Africans, and we understand your story. So we market relevant products, relevant services to you, and that's how we form a deeper connection. How is that? Trust, emotion, relevance. Value, affordable, we have an affordable service. Incentives, we always try and give something back. And we're a one-stop shop when it comes to all of your financial needs. And access, it's not only in our services, our channels, and our locations and territories, but also in the partners that we link with so that you, as a customer, are able to transact with us easily. So at the core, like I said, our customer is first. Customer-led strategy, customer-first innovation, and customer at the center of our universe. Value, access is also as important, but customer is the most important. Many companies have forgotten that we actually sell to people, to actual people, not us though. Humans care about the entire experience, not just the marketing or sales or the service. To really win in today's modern age, you need to solve for humans, and I 100% believe in that. So let's take a look at a video of what our customers have to say about us.
To hear that my family they're fine, it makes me to be happy.
I love my kids so much.
I've got a Mozambican wife. My dream is for the two of us. We'll be together until the end.
My family is the most thing I accomplished.
My name is Emmanuel, Kalema Emmanuel. I'm from Uganda.
My name is Eunice Tauro. I was born in Headlands, Rusape in Zimbabwe.
My name is Benton Mofokeng.
My name is Musa. I was born in Zimbabwe.
The reason why I came here, I had a project, and that project, when I was in Kampala, I was telling myself I can't make it when I'm in Kampala, so I have to travel. At least if I come to South Africa, maybe I can make it.
I want to change my life for me and my family. My second daughter, she passed very well. She wants to be a nurse, so she wants to study.
I've been in Zambia, I've been in Botswana, I've been in Mozambique, but all those countries around Zimbabwe, the better one is South Africa.
I learned of Mukuru through advertising, and then I registered, and then I've been sending money since then. I can send money to M-Pesa, which is like so great.
I was told by a certain friend, there's Mukuru, which is helping people to send home. I went there and I registered. I started sending money with Mukuru, and it was easy. And even today, I recommend it to my friends. After that, I even went to take a card for bank for Mukuru?
I chose Mukuru through what my friend was telling me. That it's more easy like to send money, and also they don't charge much more.
I love Mukuru, you know, because when it's easier for you to send money home, it's a good thing. It makes you happy because that day I will know that my mom is happy. She will go and buy food stuff for my family. When I send that amount, that's what they get.
And then I send my wife money to help her out and to help build our place.
Let's say when I send money to Kampala, I take some to help my family because they're in school.
It's not easy for anyone. I can't buy clothes for my kids only. When I buy things, I make sure that all 14 of them, they must have something.
And now we are also sending grocery by Mukuru. I just, even if I'm in the tax, when I'm at home at midnight, can just select the things which I want and pay.
Now, if that does not tug on your heartstrings, then I don't know what will. Those are the faces of our actual customers, telling their stories about the fact that it's more than just a money transfer to them. They're able to send money back home to facilitate so much more, whether it be education or groceries. That's why we do what we do. That's why Mukuru, the brand, represents. And that's how we as marketing try to communicate to our customers all of the time. So what are our 2021 marketing objectives? Let me quickly go through what they are. After listening to the customers, what the customers want, listening to their stories, understanding how deep we actually facilitate more than just a money transfer, we had to decide, what do we want to achieve in 2021? We want to build the brand. That's always going to be at the core focus of what we do. Build the brand in a responsible way that represents the brand in the way we want customers and non-customers to perceive us. Perception is always key. We have external and internal marketing objectives. The external objectives are awareness, Mukuru to be top of mind always when it comes to any financial services that is in our current offering. We always want to be first of mind and top of mind and the first on the list when the customer is considering any of those financial products, whether it be a card, whether it be a remittance, but not only remittances. We're more than just a remittances business, and everyone here needs to understand that. We want to appeal to a higher LSM customer. We've realized that we've kind of pigeonholed ourselves into one kind of customer, but we're so much more. We have an offering that could be used with other customer bases as well. We have introduced the app. It's a more digital customer. So we're able to appeal to a higher LSM customer, and we have tactics and ways that we plan on doing that. PR. PR is an extremely important pillar for us. PR is the way in which we legitimize our brand, not only from a customer point of view, from a customer to customer point of view, but also from a business to business point of view. We need to be that brand that speaks to the businesses that didn't think that we were the big kahuna, but actually we are. Yes, we're in the game, we're dominating the game, and we need to tell that story. And then get staff excited about our brand. Internal communications and internal marketing is as important as external marketing, because not only are external customers important, our internal customers are just as important. How are we going to do this? I'm going to quickly go through this, so don't worry. It'll be 2 seconds. We have 10 cross-country campaigns that are going to be building our brand. Build brand advocates. We're going to continue to dominate on above-the-line media, and that includes TV and radio. We're going to have 27 weeks of TV in South Africa. That's 27 weeks. We didn't have that before. 14 weeks of TV across Zambia, Botswana, Malawi, and Mozambique. 27 weeks of radio on Star FM in Zimbabwe. 20 weeks of radio in Lesedi, which is in South Africa, one of the top stations in South Africa that speaks to our Sotho market, and introducing radio in Malawi, Zambia, and Lesotho and Mozambique. Furthermore, we're also going to invest in painting the towns orange. Where we are, we will be seen. We will paint those towns orange. We have recently just finished on a project where we're painting a lot of Zimbabwe orange. So that's going to continue into Malawi, into Mozambique, into Zambia, and as well in South Africa. One of the train stations and taxi ranks in South Africa will actually be named the Mukuru taxi rank. So I'm very excited to show you guys that in the next few weeks. Then how are we going to appeal to a higher LSM customer? Increased use of digital media is an extremely important angle that we want to take this year. Digital has always been a focus for us, but this year we're going to focus on even higher LSM digital platforms. Like when we launched the app, we actually went live with a homepage takeover on News 24, something we haven't done before, and we achieved amazing results because of that News 24 homepage takeover. We'll continue to innovate when it comes to digital platforms that represent how we want to achieve our objectives. Also focus on the UK customer targeting. UK is a big focus for the business this year, and Sandy will be speaking about what we're going to do, what plans we have there, but UK customer is an extremely important part and focus for us this year. And then further investment into DSTV media. Before, it was very much only free-to-air, SABC 1, 2, 3, ETV in South Africa specifically. Now we're focusing on DSTV and also looking at DSTV in countries like Zambia. So let's keep ourselves dialed in on those sports channels, especially. If you're going to be watching some soccer, there better be a Mukuru ad that flies during that break. Then from an external point of view as well, we want to give back to those we serve. And that means speaking to a CSI strategy. We need to start investing more into our customers who actually use us. So giving back to projects that align with our objectives and actually helping and facilitating a sustainable project that we as Mukuru can stand behind. We're developing a CSI strategy and also employing a CSI manager, so that department will also start to take shape this year. Then how are we going to legitimize our brand with PR? We're going to continue to drive the 2020 PR strategy, which is tell everybody who we are, how big we are, use the numbers, 7 million customers, 1.4 million transactions in December. Those are big numbers that not a lot of companies, especially over the COVID period, could speak to. We will be speaking to that even more so in 2021. And we achieved really great results in the 2020 period, where we even got a cover for Andy Jury, our CEO, on the cover of CIO magazine. Internal, I hope you guys are enjoying the Mukuru monthly orange juice magazine, the digital magazine. Hope you guys are enjoying that, and we really want your feedback. So email magazine@Mukuru to tell us how you're finding the stories. If you want more stories, other stories, is there anything that you think that we should add? We're really excited about this project. It represents our business so well from an internal point of view because it speaks about you, the people behind the business. Introducing different languages in the Mukuru magazine. We're more than just a South African company. We are not a South African company. We're an African company. So we need to represent that in the way we talk about our business and understanding the different languages that our customers and our staff speak. That's another way that we're introducing into our magazine some new languages. Women in Leadership program, which Shaps will speak about a little bit later. Monthly staff competitions so that we can get everybody excited and the gees going. And then also creating video content of the staff. I'm really excited about this one, showing our actual staff, the guys like you behind the scenes that do what you do in order for us to facilitate and enable a safe, simple transaction for our customer. You are the most important guys. So partner strategy, that's also coming. You better keep your eyes peeled for that. So I want to end off by saying marketing is not just one department. It's more than just the marketing team. We're more than just the 10 of us. So the core of a successful marketing strategy is not only limited to marketing. Our staff across all departments, including you and your teams, play a very important role, and you're the heart of our organization. Why is this important? Because you influence how our customers feel about us. The ease of our use of channels, how we represent our brand in the field, how responsive we are in a customer query, how we as a staff show up on business platforms like LinkedIn. Does your LinkedIn say that you work at Mukuru? I hope it does. And then the territories that we venture into, the business development department, what they decide, and the partners we go into business with. Everybody is extremely important to this marketing strategy. And if one person or one department is not a part of this platform or a part of this journey, then we won't make it. But I believe that the kind of people and the Mukuru spirit that all of us have, we will achieve, again, a successful 2021. All of us have the ability to make or break how we are perceived by our customers. All of us impact the emotion that we elicit from our customers each and every day. And we want positive emotions to continue to build loyalty and trust. And so to end off, I want to play a video about some of you that are behind the scenes doing what you do best, helping our customers achieve what they want to achieve in their journey.
So the Mukuru X Factor, its ability to adapt.
We are trendsetters.
Mukuru's X factor is in its pricing and how we communicate to the customer.
We all fight for the same goal. For us, it's more than just a transaction.
Everybody in this business just has that gift to inspire.
I work in the marketing department as a marketing campaign manager.
I've been with Mukuru now for 12 years, and now I am part of a fabulous training and development team.
I am the events coordinator at Mukuru.
And I'm in the operations team.
I work in the training and development department for Mukuru as part of the bigger HR department.
I'm a contact center team lead.
I work in the office management department.
I'm the solution architect in the engineering department.
So what I enjoy most about Mukuru is Mukuru's adaptability.
I like the fact that I know that we are making a difference.
As much as Mukuru cares about their customers, they also care about their staff as well, which I really love.
If you want to be part of something that is bigger than the norm, this is the place to be.
The culture that I found here was just tremendous.
At Mukuru, you'll have a space to grow with support into a direction where you think you can add the most value.
You can come and be as big as you want to be. You can go as far as you want to go because the company is continuously evolving and moving.
Mukuru is about Ubuntu to me. I am because we all are.
For me, Mukuru means family.
In the Xhosa language, Mukuru translates to Mkulu. A Mkulu is known as an elder, someone who's going to for guidance, for a way forward, or someone who's able to see a need and is able to plug it.
Very rarely we find companies that allow you as an individual the opportunity to genuinely impact the market, and Mukuru really provides that opportunity no matter which role or position you find yourself in within this business.
What Mukuru means to me, as Mark Twain said it best, if you have a job that you enjoy doing, you'll never have to work a day in your life.
So that has really been amazing to experience all of our staff speaking about how Mukuru is like family, and I feel exactly the same way. So in conclusion, marketing is more than just marketing. It's each and every one that sits behind the desk, sitting at home, sitting at the office, in the field, on the ground, in the branch, at the contact center. All of you are important. So let's take on 2021, let's dominate, and let's do it together. But now, next up, I'm sure that has been quite an earful from me. I mean, hearing all about the marketing strategy for 2021, you know we're going to be seen in lights. I can't wait. So before I get carried away with more marketing jargon, it's time for some laughs. Let me introduce you to somebody all the way from Zimbabwe, a comedian very well known by somebody known as Steve Harvey, Long John comedian. Let's snap those fingers, guys. Snap those fingers.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was a great introduction, by the way. Although I think you're mistaking me with someone else. You see, I don't come from Zimbabwe. Yeah. I escaped. Okay, there's a difference. There's a huge difference between escaping and coming from Zimbabwe. I know right now my other Zimbabweans watching this know what I'm talking about. Man, things have been bad in Zimbabwe. I don't want to lie. They've been bad. They've been bad since 2008. Like, I remember in 2008, there was so much inflation in our economy. I once got a haircut for $2 million. Yeah. And by the time the guy finished cutting my hair, it was 20 billion. Yeah, I'm still paying back the money till today. Till today, guys. It's really bad. So if you had cash on you, you had to spend it very quick before it loses value. So what people start doing is we start avoiding using money. We start using livestock as the new currency, which makes sense. But the only problem is people start showing up to the strip club with chickens now. Yeah. Like imagine she's busy dancing, doing a thing, someone is throwing a chicken. Yes. Making it rain. Woohoo. You are throwing eggs. Keep it. It will age tomorrow. Just keep it. It's an investment. Things were really bad, man. There was no food. If you wanted to buy something in 2008, you had to stand in a queue. It can be anything. It can be bread. It can even be a lollipop. You have to stand in a queue. So my grandmother was like, John, if you see any queue, join it. Just join the queue. You never know if you need to buy the thing. Join the queue. Guys, I joined the queue for 3 hours. 3 hours I'm in the queue. Only to find out it was a public toilet. I'm like, wait a minute, it's a public toilet here. What is going on? It's a public toilet. Things were really bad. I don't want to lie, man. I really don't want to lie. And so what do we do as Zimbabweans when things are bad in our country? We come to South Africa. I know there's a lot of Zimbabweans in South Africa working here. We come here to work for our families. You know, back home, that's when we use Mukuru and everything. But the problem is when we come here, South Africans complain. They complain like, oh, these Zimbabweans are stealing our jobs. Oh, Zimbabweans are stealing our jobs. You don't know that Zimbabweans are also crying the same way. Like, oh my God, these jobs are stealing our Zimbabweans. Like, we hate these jobs too. We hate them so much, you have no idea. And my question to you is, how do you steal a job? Yeah. How do you steal it? Do you go to Mukuru with a gun? Like, poof. Okay, everybody get down. Get down. I want to clean these dirty floors now. Give me the broom. Put the broom down. Look at me. I'm the janitor now. Like, I mean, come on. Like, do we have police patrolling, looking for busy suspects? Like, we are sorry, say, we have a case of a missing job, and you look busy. Can you please follow us? We're looking for someone who's busy here. You probably stole the job. But, you know, I believe Mukuru is actually, I love the work that you're doing, because we have people from Zambia, from Mozambique, from Zimbabwe, all around Africa, getting together and uniting people. I love that, man. I was actually in Johannesburg during xenophobia. Like I was in town where it was happening during xenophobia. Do you know how tough it is to look South African? Because I know my South African, you do this every day. You look South African every day. But for us, foreigners, we are trying to blend in. I'm walking around town, trying to blend in, saying the only Zulu that I remember, hola, 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 eta, eta. Saying random words like mafiki zolo, your vest. That's what I remember. That's what I know. Because I don't know if you know this. What they do if they want to know if you're a foreigner, they'll ask you one question. They will ask you something like, what is this in Zulu? So now, if you have an accent, they attack you. But I had a plan. I had a plan to say something without an accent. So they approached me. Hey, when I'm fed, what is this in Zulu? And I was like, no, he's one of us, don't worry. He's one of us. He speaks the language. He's with us. You know what? I'm sure people around Africa, you can testify to this. People around Africa are scared of South Africa. Now, I don't want to lie. They are so scared. Every time when I tell my friends, when I'm in Uganda, that I'm going to South Africa, they always say, be careful. Be careful, especially in Johannesburg. You will get mugged. You will get robbed. I was like, that is not true. So when I arrived in Johannesburg, I walked around with my wallet up in the air just to prove them wrong. So I was mugged. I should have seen that coming. It was because it was a beautiful day. Wonderful day. I'm enjoying my day. You know, the sun was shining. The birds were singing. Wonderful day. I bought myself an ice cream at McDonald's. I'm licking this ice cream. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to Soweto. The deeper I got in Soweto, things were changing. The houses kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I swear I saw a house so small. If you're sleeping in there and you want to change your side, you have to go outside first. Change and then come back in that position just. So I'm in Soweto, man. I'm in Soweto, and I'm walking, and then this guy's like, "Hey, fat, give me your wallet or else I'll kill you." I had to look tough, right? But no matter how tall or big you are, you will never look tough when licking an ice cream. It's never happening, guys. Like, I tried. I tried. I'm like, "Hey, if you take my wallet, I'll find you and I'll kill you." The guy took my wallet, guys. And my ice cream, he took it. I don't know why he took my ice cream. But guys, I should have known I was going to get marked because I was in Soweto and I was using my phone like this because I needed to use GPS. And guys, I feel like if they put a Nigerian accent on that GPS, that it would be so cool. Just imagine if they put different accents depending on where you are. You can just change it. It would be so nice. Imagine you're walking or you're driving using a GPS and there's a Nigerian accent there like, "Oga, listen to me now. In 600 meters, 10 left. Oh. Hey, look at this useless boy. Look at this useless boy. I told you to 10 left. Hey, Oga, you shall see. You shall see. Oh, you never get lost ever, ever, guys. But I love it, man. I love traveling because I come from a small village in Zimbabwe called Chimani Mani. Don't worry, we are broke. There's no money. They lied to us. But I'll tell you why they named it Chimani Mani. Because they found diamond and gold. But you know, the government, started taking the diamond and pretending like they're developing a little village with the money from diamond, lying to all of us. But they recently installed a $1 million traffic light in my village. One traffic light. People are so happy and excited about this traffic light. They're taking photos with it. Taking selfies. We don't need a traffic light in my village. We don't need it. Because we drive differently than all of you guys here in South Africa. You guys drive crazy. I'll kill you. That's how you drive, right? But in my village, we drive like... That is how we drive in my village, man. But I love my village, man. I love you so much, and I'm traveling a lot. It's amazing, man. I'm traveling a lot. And I know right now you're wondering, is my real name Long John? Well, I'm Zimbabwean. You may never know. Our names are weird as hell. So my name is actually Learn More. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, and I'm going to come back and tell you why my name is Learn More. So thank you very much, and see you later.
Woohoo, guys! That was Long John Comedian. And thank you, Long John. You are one funny guy. I hope to see you soon in Chimani Mani. Is that it?
Yes, you can visit.
Chimani Mani, I'll come and visit you for sure. Awesome. We will see you a little bit later. So guys, I hope you're excited about what's up next, because without its people, our much-loved Mukuru off-roader would be parked in some dingy garage, gathering dust, its battery running down slowly, while customers all over the world had to survive without remittance lifelines. The HR people department is the bedrock of the business, sourcing, onboarding, communicating, cheerleading Mukuru's most valuable assets, the family, and that's all of you. Now I know what you're thinking. Is there a person alive who has the mother of all courage to head up such a massive shape-shifting operation? Yes, there is. It took an honors degree in human resources, 10 years experience in every aspect of HR you can imagine, and all the joys and challenges of being a mother and a woman. But She did it. Now she oversees the entire Mukuru Peeps function and all the operations, while also driving Mukuru human capital strategy and making sure it aligns with its overachieving and overarching business objectives. She still finds time to engage people in meaningful ways and can tackle tricky conversations with the skill of a seasoned diplomat. You guessed it. Wow, you may have said. But wait, there's more. She also has the hand-eye coordination of a juggler, which allows her to balance empathy while delivering business objectives. Please give a thumbs up for our champion of office happiness, our people and culture systems guru, head of human resources, Chaperone Connie, guys. Woo-hoo! Over to you, Chef.
Thanks, Bron. Thanks for that amazing welcome. Hi, Mukuru Nation. I'm Chaperone. I'm here to chat to you guys a little bit about the people behind the spirit. I'm just going to chat to you about our plan around our people across the board, regardless of geographical location. So the plan is underpinned by essentially what we want to achieve, being creating an enabling environment to nurture our most important asset, which is our people. The pillars that we've identified for this season are learning and development, talent acquisition and retention, leadership and culture development, employee engagement and experience, and last but not least, the evolving world of work post-COVID-19. All this is underpinned under the boundaries of employee relations. Now, we have a lot of things that we want to achieve. I'll just go through each and every one of those pillars and tell you how we'll be achieving that. I'll start with learning and development. So what we want to do on the learning sphere is to create a culture of continuous learning. And obviously, with the massive growth that we've experienced, we want to support the business by ensuring that we have high-performing teams. We want to nurture our people, who are the most important asset, like I said, and develop leaders who can harness their potential to take Mukuru beyond. Now, how we see ourselves being able to get there is to implement a scalable online central repository of information, which essentially is going to be our first e-learning platform that I'm so excited about, the Mukuru Learning Academy. We're also going to be implementing the Mukuru Leadership Incubation Program, which essentially is our new succession program that we'll be implementing as well. Graduate internships as well are going to be key in this, trying to get the talent while they're still young and fresh out of varsity. Leadership development and coaching as well is going to be a key instrument in us enabling our leaders. Now let's have a look at the video, just a foretaste of what's to come with the Mukuru Learning Academy.
Set yourself up for success with access to the new Mukuru Learning Academy for free. Mukuru has an incredibly unique way of doing things that has the potential to make this the greatest professional experience of your life. It's our aim to make your Mukuru journey as easy and fun as possible. Increasing knowledge and improving your skills is key to your professional development, but courses are expensive and they're hard to fit into your schedule. We hear you, so we've launched the Mukuru Learning Academy. This brand new e-learning platform offers you bespoke Mukuru courseware, over 1,000 additional courses provided by LinkedIn Learning, security awareness training provided by KnowBefore, and general Mukuru info for staff to access. How does this benefit you? Free access to all our staff, no matter which country you're in. Track your own progress and improve your knowledge in areas you're interested in. Access courses at your leisure so your daily duties are never interrupted. The first ever e-learning platform for Mukuru will also be available on a mobile app and will be available for download on Google Play and Apple Store. Visit the Mukuru Learning Academy today.
I'm so excited about the Academy. I can't wait for it to launch. Make sure you keep watching this space. Next, I'm going to chat about talent acquisition and retention. So you've seen how we've grown so massively over the past year, and to support that, we want to be able to continue to attract the best talent in the market, maintain a relevant skills bank, which obviously is the skills of the future. We want to make sure that we future-proof ourselves in terms of skills, and it's essentially going to be a blend between the entrepreneurial spirit of pioneering and innovation, as well as specialist experience. And then lastly, we also want to retain the skills that we have to continue that rapid growth that we have. How we'll get there? So we partnered with LinkedIn quite a bit in terms of raising our profile. Bron's spoken quite a bit around, making our brand out there and making sure that when candidates hear about it, they know who we are, they know what we're about. We're also going to be partnering with them around the learning piece as well, as you saw on the courseware that we'll be making available. The talent acquisition plan is going to be a blended approach around the internal capabilities that we have in our recruitment team, agencies as well that we'll be tapping into, and the alumni of the universities that we'll be targeting as well. We'll be implementing an applicant tracking system and org management structure process that will allow us to also have visibility on how that is done. We'll also be engaging REM channel as well, just to make sure that we're constantly checking ourselves against the market and able to prepare and package a compelling employee value proposition. We'll be clarifying growth plans and also implementing personal development plans for our existing staff. The next pillar is going to be leadership development and culture. This is the heart of our business, and we want to be able to ensure that we continue with the Mukuru spirit. We want to develop active leaders who can inspire our people. We want to have clear and aligned standards of excellence and drive transformation and affirmative action as well across the board. How we will get there? We want to implement a tailor-made leadership curriculum, continuous learning and coaching, culture catalysts and ambassadors that we've implemented, even with the buddy system that you guys have seen. These are all small initiatives just to, kickstart that process. We'll have orange blood transfusions, which essentially is trying to make sure that we're able to push that, that orange here, so that orange energy across each and every person. Ron touched briefly on women in leadership empowerment sessions and a deliberate effort to meet our employment equity targets. So we want to make a deliberate effort around raising awareness and ensuring that we're equipping women as future leaders within our business. We'll have women webinars, sessions that we'll have for that. We'll be identifying some key women also within the business and taking them through some courses around women in leadership with Millpark. We also want to drive our Behavioral Framework Act, which underpins everything that we do, because we see it as inspirational in terms of explaining how we do things within Mukuru. The next piece is employee engagement and experience. And I think because of the dispersed nature that we are currently, this has become such an important piece in terms of ensuring that we have that orange energy. We'll be implementing things like the Mukuru Voices, which is just engagement surveys and chatting to our staff and hearing what they want. Continuous orientation and a deliberate effort on our onboarding programs, town halls and business updates that Bron spoke about, individual staff counseling and wellness services, and just staff social activities, rethinking that essentially with things like virtual coffees and the likes. Last but not least, the world post-COVID-19. Pre-COVID-19, we were all in the office, we had fixed hours, we knew what we were supposed to do. The culture was passed on organically. We didn't need to be deliberate about that. You just walked into the office and you could just feel the energy. Now, with everyone dispersed, we want to be able to rethink this and reshape our approach post-COVID-19. How we see this looking in the foreseeable future is definitely a focus on our employee health and wellness. So we want to make sure that our staff are always safe at all times. The customer-facing teams will continue to go into the front line and service our customers. We'll also be allowing more flexibility for our non-customer-facing teams and our admin type of roles. Essentially, it will be portable work, where we see a hybrid of working from the office and working from home. Last but not least, the magic that is Mukuru is only achieved by our people and the amazing brains behind the think tanks and the collaborative kind of efforts that we have. So we see a place where the Muko labs will need to be there as well. So we're not getting rid of the buildings. We're not stopping going to the office at all. We see a place where we'll still be able to go into the office, to osmose, to share, to inspire, and to create. So we'll see a hybrid kind of operation where there'll be days we'll be in the office for the teams that need to innovate and create, and some days where you just need to focus and you'll be at home, but all within the boundaries of making sure that you're safe. Now, I am so excited for the 2021 strategy for our people, and I can't wait to see us lifting the Mukuru spirit. Thank you.
Now that's what I'm talking about, guys. A business who puts their people first. I should know, I work for this company. I just want to also remind everybody, please submit any comments or questions in the chat. We really want to hear from you. We want to hear all about what you want to know from any of our speakers. We'll even bring Andy on just to answer a few of your questions. So take advantage of that chat, guys. We want to see all of your comments right now. And I see you guys showing Mukuru spirit. I see all of you in your outfits, in your Moo Cow outfits. It is fantastic. Kat Stevens, I think you're leading the way when it comes to who's got the best dress title, but we'll have to wait and see a little bit later. Now we have a few questions, and as Barack Obama said, don't be afraid to ask questions. It shows you have the courage to admit when you don't know something and learn something new. So now we have a question from Iron in my favorite department, marketing. Shaps, she wants to know, is the company looking to include medical aid as a company benefit in the near future?
So thanks for that question, Bron. So we currently have something similar in South Africa, particularly a medical insurance that I think has worked for a lot of the people. We have NHS in Zambia, and we are looking to scale and make sure we implement something similar across the different geographical locations. So yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Shaps. We are so excited about the 2021 People Strategy. I am. I'm also looking forward to seeing some of you guys in the near future. Let's pray. I miss your faces, not only through a digital screen, but in person. Now, with the next speaker we have, he proves that it isn't everybody's job to stay on board the Mukuru off-roader. You need a fearless scout who is willing to travel familiar and uncharted territories to find new paths for the off-roader and trailer. Someone able to set up a Mukuru network of refreshment stations where our off-roader and little trailer can unload products and services for customers who need them most. Mukuru's Chief of Scouts not only takes Mukuru places it's never been before, he's also responsible for figuring out how to get there. And he has to tell the Chief Navigator, that's Andy, remember, how exactly we should be heading in that direction. To do this, he prepped with a Bachelor of Business Science degree from UCT and an MBA from UCT Grad Business School. Then he earned his scouting stripes, running the marketing and business development functions in a health tech nonprofit that focused on HIV education and treatment. He thinks he's a marketer all of the time. Yes, he does. Ever since he's been driving the Mukuru growth strategy, accelerating the expansion of the business to serving over 100 remittance corridors, while also providing additional financial services targeted at the financially underserved. To sum up, scouting is not just a job for him, it's a way of life. In fact, our Scout Master has set himself the personal ambition of traveling to all 195 countries in the world. Shoo! How will we survive, and how will he survive all of this, you may ask? Nobody knows. So please give a thumbs up, a snap your fingers for our BD to the bone and rockstar head of strategy and business development, Oliver O'Brien.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Bron, and thanks, everyone. Absolutely excited to be here. Amazing turnout. Everyone's looking particularly good, but special shout out to the Strat and Biz Dev team. You guys are looking absolutely fantastic. Cool. So, over the last few months, a few of us have been working on a pretty exciting concept that we think has the power to change the lives of our customers and their families and their friends and bring a whole new dimension to what we mean when we say more than money transfers. Today, I'm going to take you on a journey with me into the future. Today, I'm going to introduce you to Mukuru Payments. Over the last 17 years, Mukuru has achieved some incredible things. We've done our bit to solve fuel shortages, battled hyperinflation, and helped Harry put food on the table back home. We've enabled customers to receive their salary into a wallet and pay for goods and services with a card. But what we've been really good at is consistently understanding our customers and meeting their needs, as we enable them to move from a cash-based economy into the digital world, regardless of whether they are at home or in a foreign country. In doing so, we've created an incredible and vast network of payment locations and mechanisms, backed up by robust technology and underpinned by an array of licenses, reporting, and AML wizardry. And we've been really, really good at using it for person-to-person payments to help Harry send money to Sally. But what other possibilities are out there in the payment space? There's also person-to-business, business-to-person, and business-to-business. And these payments could be made for goods or services both locally or abroad, and they could be made in cash or digitally, which means we can engage people who operate in the formal and informal economies. Why wouldn't we want to offer our own services and the services of other companies to those in the cash economy, and then as they get used to using us over time, we can convince them to get a Mukuru wallet? So we know all about the P2P remittance use case, but what are some of the other examples of what I'm talking about here? What are other needs we can meet? In the P2B space, we're aiming to help people pay their bills, buy things online, and pay digitally in person. Imagine Victor in the UK paying for his DSTV subscription back home, or Tibogo in Botswana paying for her Netflix account from her wallet. Imagine Tawanda in Zimbabwe going onto Takealot to buy some shoes and selecting the Mukuru payments button during the checkout process and then going to make the payment in cash at a Mukuru orange booth. In the face-to-face use case, imagine Peggy in Malawi scanning a merchant QR code to pay for her latest amazing hairdo. We're even looking at enabling other payments businesses to use our networks in order to do the same thing for their customers by aggregating our local payment methods alongside their own. In these ways, we're bringing goods and services to people in Africa and taking Africa to the world. So, we've already started work in the B2P space with our enterprise payments platform, working with large organizations like UNICEF and other aid organizations to help them send money to those who need it most. We've also enabled other organizations and businesses to make salary payments to their staff to pay out grants or make loan or insurance payouts. Imagine Sandra in Malawi receiving a farming subsidy via Mukuru and then paying for maize or seeds, both transactions passing through our Mukuru payments platform. Some of our licenses in countries such as Botswana allow us to make business-to-business payments. This will allow companies to pay locally or internationally based suppliers, either in cash or digitally, thereby bringing previously inaccessible goods and services into the more informal economies. So, how are we going to enable all this? Well, the first step is going to be a relatively intangible one. In the next few days, we're going to change our remittance vouchers to be called Mukuru Pay vouchers. We're also actively pursuing a few key partnerships to enable the bill settlement and e-commerce use cases. And in the not too distant future, our wallet will be enabling digital face-to-face payments. You can see Peggy's hairdo is looking pretty great right there. At the same time, our sales teams are hard at work finding more businesses that want to make use of our payment capabilities. Now, the beauty of all this is that we are able to meet the needs of a far greater audience by using our powerful brand, existing payments infrastructure, technology, and regulatory prowess. By meeting people where they are in their journey from cash-based lifestyle into a digital one, we are able to encourage more people to use our wallet as they get used to making or receiving Mukuru payments. In this way, we are effectively digitizing the financially underserved and opening up Africa to the world. So, I hope you are as excited as I am about the incredible journey we've been on so far, and are fired up about how we are going to fundamentally improve the payment space as we leverage our platform to enable Africa to scale, and truly offer our customers a lot more than money transfers.
Thank you so much, Ollie. It seems like the BizDev department is where it's at. I'm starting to feel the Mukuru spirit, guys, and I hope you at home are feeling the same energy, because next up, we have none other than, yes, you guessed it, Mike Cook. Come on, Mike, we're so excited to have you. Mike proves that there's more to an off-roader than mechanics and all those brand new techie features. There are those add-ons that make the running of a vehicle safer and easier. like a warranty policy, vehicle insurance, and digital reminders that you're due for a service. To come up with all of these types of product developments and service enhancements, you need a leader with his eye on the market development and international expansion. So our offerings are always in step with what customers need, and we're always able to deliver wherever they happen to be. Mukuru's head of wallet and VAS, that's value-added services, sets out every morning at very early hours of the morning, let me tell you, with the ultimate aim to provide customers with financial services that have the power to change their lives. His department is a well-oiled machine thanks to his uncanny ability to solve difficult problems and kick open doors that lead to opportunities. He has no intention of slowing down his plan to expand the wallet across the continent and put financial empowerment into every customer's hand. Please give a thumbs up, snap your fingers for our creator of opportunities, our lead door knocker and head of wallet and VAS, Mike Cook. Over to you.
Thank you, Bronwyn. That was a very gracious introduction. And welcome, Mukuru Nation. It's great to be able to share with you some of the plans for Wallet and VAS in 2021. But before I jump into our milestones and our expansion plans, I want to take you into the why. Earlier you heard Oliver speak about some exciting plans around expanding our payments network, going into P2B or B2B and looking at cash and digital payments. I really want to zero in on the digital. Being able to pay digitally is the end game. It's where we want our customers to be. And here at Mukuru, I feel we have a responsibility to help our customers on that journey. So to get into the crux of why this is, let's go back 18 years. Let's talk about Harry. He's an economic migrant. He's come to South Africa, he wants to earn some bucks, and he wants to send that home to his wife, Sally, who's in one of our countries, and a few of them are there on the screen. But that money is more than just the paper notes or the value. It's the opportunity that it represents, an opportunity for a better life, for education, for healthcare, and this is Harry and Sally working together to create a future for themselves. Now, 18 years ago, there weren't too many ways for Harry to send that money home. In fact, they probably used informal channels like a bus, and they'd have to put the money on the bus. And then, in what can only be termed an act of amazing trust, send that money off to Sally. Now, if you think about that transaction, it's really expensive. Not only is there the fee that Harry paid, but there's the time that it takes the physical money to reach Sally on a bus, could be days. And then, does Sally even get the money? Does she get all of it? Thankfully, in this transaction, she did. But if we stop there to consider the cost of the transaction, we would be wrong. We need to look broader. Let's consider what Harry had to do before he even handed the money over to the bus driver. Well, he had to leave his job. He had to take some time off, time that was productive. He then went and paid another taxi driver to drive him to the bus station where he could hand over the physical money. And while he was carrying all that money, his blood pressure was up. He was a bit nervous. What if he gets robbed? What if something happens to all this money that he's carrying? And so that's a real cost from Harry's side, but also Sally. She was doing something productive before that money arrived. She was nurturing children, maybe having a side business, cooking food, farming, but she had to drop that, and she had to pay a taxi to get to the bus station to collect the money that Harry had sent her, and now she has all of it, trying to travel back to where she's going, and that is the full cost of that remittance. It's the time, effort, risk, and financial costs that these two parties have paid in moving the money from one country to the other. And thank goodness there is a better way. Mukuru came along, and we digitized the customer record. Now Harry and Sally can interact with us over their phone. And we created a vast network of pay-in and pay-out locations, bringing the access closer to the sender and the receiver. And then, by the magic of our cow, that money moves instantly, digitized. No longer do we need buses, but money moves in a snap of a finger, available to the recipient. What about those external costs, though? Well, because we've got pay-in and pay-out locations so much closer to Harry and Sally, they don't have to spend as much time or money getting to the sending or collecting points. So we've really reduced those external costs. But we can do better. What if we put a wallet in Harry and Sally's hands? I want you to take a moment to look at this customer experience. It's a beautiful thing. It really is amazing. Let's take a look. Wow. It's so good, I'm going to play it again for you. Just really focus, look at their expressions on their faces. That is incredible. Now, granted, they're static pictures on the frame, but let's peel back the curtain on their life and see what really took place in this moment. Harry was sitting on his couch, watching his favorite sitcom at 9 o'clock at night. He got a call from his wife saying, I'm talking to my sister while the baby's asleep. There's an emergency. Can you send me money? So Harry picks up his phone and in less than a minute, without losing track of the storyline, sends his wife cash, who then buys an electricity voucher straight away and WhatsApps it to her sister so that the crisis is averted. All of this in less than 5 minutes. That is the power of fully digitizing the sender and the receiver. Not only did we remove the external costs of that transfer, but we're able to bring more value to them by allowing them to use the money instantly, whether that is sending it on, buying airtime, electricity, paying for DSTV, or whatever else we can put in there. And that's why I feel we at Mukuru have a responsibility to help our customers on this journey of digitization. It's to bring them the best experience, reduce their costs, their risks, save them time, and give them the ultimate experience. But the wallet is more than just a wallet. The wallet runs on a platform, and it allows us to launch other financial services to Harry and Sally. There's insurance, credit or loans, and saving and investment products that can all be launched from this platform known as the wallet. But we've got to start somewhere. So our first product is going to be digital payments, right? That's having that experience that we just spoke about. It's having a payment card. It's being able to pay with your phone. So we're going to really double down on creating a digital store of value and allowing people to transact digitally. Then we will expand into more insurance products, credit, and saving, and take our customers on a journey. So what do we mean when we talk about wallet? Well, there's some core out-of-the-box features that I want to talk about now, and then we'll cover how we're going to span this wallet across our territories. So when we launch a wallet, we're looking at admin and access features, and we're looking at transaction features. So under admin and access, we're going to allow customers to manage their PINs, see their transaction history, view their limits, and also use WhatsApp and .mobi to interact with that wallet. Of course, when we go into countries where there's USSD, we'll enable that as well. And I'm really looking forward to putting wallet management into the customer app. On the transaction side, right out the box, when we launch a wallet in a country, customers are going to be able to deposit and withdraw cash at our locations. And they're also going to be able to pay for and receive international money transfers and domestic money transfers. And then we'll always try to include some value-added services, whether that's airtime, electricity, DSTV, your water bill. We'll always include some value adds into the wallet when launching into a country. So where do we want to take this? Well, over the course of this year, we're going to focus on 3 countries. We've got South Africa, Botswana, and Malawi. And we're going to start with Botswana. In fact, right now, we have a pilot project running in Botswana with just our staff who are using our new wallet architecture. And in the next month or so, we're going to be expanding that to include real customers. We're going to choose sample groups of customers, give them the wallet, and engage with them to understand if our product is meeting their needs. We'll iterate on our product and grow till we have the right product market fit, and then we'll do a hard launch. We'll put some real marketing power behind that and drive our customers on that digital journey. Once Botswana is up and running, we'll then turn our attention to Malawi, and we'll launch a staff pilot, making our wallet available for our internal staff to use and test. Kind of like warming up that architecture, or that engine that we've been talking about in our Mukuru van. After we've turned on the pilot in Malawi, we turn our attention back to Botswana, where we want to launch a payment card, much like the Mukuru card, but now linked to that digital store of value. This is going to help our wallet customers in Botswana really integrate with the larger payment network in their country. They're going to be able to swipe for goods, withdraw at ATMs, or do cashback at POS using that card linked to their wallet, giving them a fuller banking experience. Once we've launched the card in Botswana, we then turn our attention back to Malawi, and now it gets really interesting. We're doing a hard launch of our wallet, but you'll notice there's also a bit of a savings icon there, and so we'll be launching a savings product in Malawi with the launch of our wallet. Simply put, the balances in the wallet are going to earn interest, and that's a really exciting thing to be able to do. Once we've launched Malawi, we then focus on South Africa and migrating our Mukuru card base onto this new architecture. By that time, we're going to have over 200,000 active Mukuru card users, and it's going to be a mega project, but we're confident that we can do it. Does this mean, though, that we're doing nothing in South Africa over Q1, 2, and 3? Of course not. We've got a lot planned. Right now, in fact, we're working on the old Mukuru card. We've given the contact center more access to enhance our customers' experience. We're then going to look at expanding our retail network and allowing customers to deposit cash at Pick n Pay, Spar, Game, Macro, and more retailers, bringing the accessibility closer to them. We also want to allow customers to issue cards to themselves. This is going to allow us to look at more innovative distribution channels and to service customers in areas where our agents aren't located yet. Then, very excitedly, we're also launching EMV cards. That's just a fancy way of saying chip and pin, tap and go ready cards. This is going to bring our customers the latest card payments technology right into their hands. I'm super excited about that. In fact, we already have 50,000 of these cards in our warehouse being prepped to work, and more on order. After those elements on the Mukuru card, we then turn our attention to our funeral product. And we're actually looking at being able to make the sign-up process digital. This is going to allow customers to get a funeral policy without having to speak to someone. And this is where we can really scale beyond where we have been now, bringing our funeral product into the mainstream. And to support that digitization, we're going to look at launching new funeral cover products. We've already started laying the groundwork for this by partnering with a research firm to understand the needs of our customers, so that when we launch products, they're relevant to their needs. And finally, we're looking at doing a payday loans pilot. This is something that Oliver spoke about at the last summit. And then COVID happened and plans changed and we reprioritized, but it's back on the cards. And what I love about this slide is that it's full of milestones and they are diversified financial services products. The World Bank, the G20, the UN, the AU have all identified these products, payments, savings, insurance, and credit, as the products that lift people out of poverty and help them build a better future. This is a mega year. I'm so excited to be able to bring this value offering to our customers.
Wow, Mike, so many projects on the cards. You see what I did there? I told you guys you have to laugh whenever I try to tell a joke. But now, time for another question from you. Do you know there's an organization called the Right Question Institute? They say questing is the ability to organize our thinking around what we don't know. So let's get organized with the next question from Thelma. Thelma asks, is the company going to offer home loans in the future? Mike?
That's a great question, Thelma. Right now, loans of that scale are not on our roadmap. Home loans can be quite large, and we're just looking at smaller payday loans to start with. But if there's something I've learned about working at Mukuru is never say never. So who knows in a few years where our business will go.
That is true. Never say never. When I joined the organization in 2019 to what it is today, it has gone leaps and bounds from where it was when I started. So exciting, so innovative, and it speaks to exactly what Mike has spoken about with these projects that are on the way. Thanks so much, Mike. We're so excited for what's to come with 2021. So what an exciting roadmap to further financial services for our customers. That's Mike, VAS, and Wallet, and Card, and so many other things. Next up, we have Long John Comedian returning to share with us some of his humorous gold nuggets. Over to you, Long John.
Yes, it's good to be back. Thank you so much. You're doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
I love that, yeah. First of all, I like, the work that Mukuru is doing. You are uniting Africans, man. And I love Africa. I've traveled to different countries, and I've noticed that in each and every country in Africa, things are different. They have different rules. As soon as you cross the border, things change. Like, did you know that in Rwanda, plastic bags are illegal?
plastic bags are illegal in Rwanda. But the most interesting thing is guns are legal, which means they can arrest you for carrying your gun in a plastic bag. Yeah, like we don't care about AK-47. Where did you get the plastic? Tell us. Where did you get it? Who's your dealer? ShopRite. I mean, that's my dealer. Who is this ShopRite? Who is this ShopRite? I mean, it's amazing, man. And I also went to Uganda. Uganda is amazing, man. Uganda is crazy. As soon as you land into Uganda, things change. Even your Uber application changes. There was now a motorbike option on the Uber application. Yeah, it's so common to see 4 people on one motorbike. Well, I know this because I was one of those 4 people. Yeah, I was sitting on the motorbike. You know, there was a guy, the driver, me, and 2 guys behind me. They were just so close to me. They're like, sorry, Portos, sorry. It was so bad, man. It was really bad. But I love Uganda. I love it so much. One thing that I learned about Uganda is, you know, we are similar around Africa. The way we do things, you know. For example, in South Africa, you call every toothpaste Colgate. It can be Aquafresh. It can be Sensodyne. It's called Colgate. That's what you call it, right? Now, in Uganda, they have their thing. In Uganda, they call every filling station Shell Garage. Every filling station is Shell Garage. I'm calling a friend of mine. I'm like, hey, where are you? He's like, I am at Shell Garage. I looked for a Shell Garage. I walked up and down looking for a Shell Garage. I couldn't find a Shell Garage. I was like, man, where are you? He's like, I'm at Shell Garage. The one written Total on it. I'm like, it's not a Shell Garage. It's a Total. It's like, no. It's a Shell Total. That's the name. I'm like, come on, man. So what's next? KFC, McDonald's? Doesn't make any sense. But I love Africa, man. Africa is so advanced. I see, you guys are advancing Africa. I love that so much, man. That's amazing. But because people around the world think that in Africa we still have animals walking in the street, doesn't make any sense. I was in England the other day, eating my lunch at a restaurant, right? I'm enjoying my lunch. It's amazing. And this couple kept on looking at me like they're watching National Geographic Channel or something. They're just looking at me like, wow, look at him. Wow, he's so majestic. Look at him. He comes from Africa. Wow. So to mess up with their minds, I started eating my lunch like, wow, he's so majestic. I'm gonna go and talk to him. And then she approached me. Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but where do you come from? I was like, I come from Zimbabwe. It's in Africa. Wow, Zimbabwe. Wow, that's amazing. I know a guy in Mozambique. Huh? Wow. I also know a guy in London. Do you know him? Wow, Zimbabwe. Do you have like lions in Zimbabwe? I was like, yes, we have lions in Zimbabwe. Really? Have you seen one? Of course, I've seen a lion. Wow, aren't you afraid of them? Yes, I'm afraid of lions. Wow. Have you ever been attacked by a lion? Yes, I've been attacked by a lion before. Really? What happened? I saw it in the jungle. And then it looked at me. And then it ran towards me. And then what did you do? I changed the channel. That's what I did. I was like, no, not today. But anyway, I promised you guys that I'm going to tell you why my name is actually Learn More. So this is what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 4 reasons why Zimbabweans give their kids names like this. You see, the first reason is Zimbabweans, we believe that if you give a kid a name, that kid is going to grow up and become the exact thing that you named them. I saw this happening with my own eyes because I grew up with a friend of mine. He didn't even achieve anything in his life. He's still staying with his parents. He's not married. doesn't have a job. Why? Because his name was Take It Easy. He's been doing it all his life. For real, man. And I used to have, this is our friend, this is a true story. His name was Kiss Not. Yeah, Kiss Not is 31 years old today. And he has never kissed anyone in his life. Like, you see what's happening here. And I knew another kid in school, his name was Billionaire. Billionaire actually grew up and became a billionaire. And right now you're thinking to yourself, why haven't I heard of Billionaire? You see, the problem was the billion was in Zim dollar, so it didn't really make a difference. We are all billionaires at some point in Zimbabwe. So now the second reason is where I come in. Actually, the second reason is, Zimbabwe is a British colony. See, back then it was a great idea to give your kid an English name so that they can fit in with the other white kids, and then they can, they can get a better job. But the only problem is black people didn't speak English. What they can only do is listen to people talking, then pick one words, and then go home and name their kids names like try harder, good boy, try more. And then third reason, it's because, sometimes it's not even about the baby. Sometimes it's a message, from the elders to your parents. For example, my grandmother named me Learn More because my mother was 15 years old when she got pregnant with me. So she wanted to teach my mother a lesson to learn more about life. So she named me Learn More. Yeah. And then my mother got pregnant again with my sister. Me and my sister were 3 years apart. You can guess what her name is. Learned nothing. You should meet my other brother, we give up. And my other sister, oops. But it's crazy, man, it's crazy. So because of comedy, I'm not traveling to different countries and I'm using words I never used in my life, man. Ever. Like being jet-lagged. I used to think that being jet-lagged meant that you can run very fast. It made sense. We used to watch the Olympics like, hey, look at Usain Bolt. He's so jet-lagged, huh? Look at him. Jet-lagged. But now I'm traveling, I realize that being jet-lagged, the meaning actually depends with your race. You see, for white people, being jet-lagged is getting tired of flying. But for black people, being jet-lagged is a way of letting everybody know that you can afford it. Yes. I'll never forget the first time I was in an aeroplane. I was jet-lagged for 4 months. 4 months. And I made sure I let everybody know I was jet-lagged. I'm in church. Guys, please pray for me. I'm jet-lagged over here. Yeah, man. And I was actually applying for a UK visa the other day, and they asked me a question I didn't understand. They asked me, have you ever been involved in any terrorist activities? Guys, I come from Chimani Mani. I don't know anything about terrorism. For example, when I was in my village, the police announced there was a bomb at our post office. The whole village ran to see the bomb that everyone was there. Where is the bomber? Tell us. Where is it? I brought my keys to see the bomb right now. It was so bad. People were taking photos with the bomb. Selfie. The bomb was stolen, guys. It was stolen. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to me. I know you're laughing there in your rooms and everything. So thank you so much, and thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much, Long John. We definitely have been laughing, and we have been enjoying your show. I can see you guys at home laughing at Long John's jokes. I see all of you. I see you, Jazz. I see you, Kat. I see you, Andre, all dressed up in your orange gear. You guys are rocking the Mukuru spirit. This is so exciting. Now we're on to some really exciting, serious business. Because maybe 10 years ago, an off-roader was just a bucky, right? Not anymore. They're all connected now. We're talking digital rear view mirrors, intelligent glass adaptive wheels, virtual door mirrors, and soon self-driving vehicles. I think I'll wait until they've sorted out the glitches, thank you. There are some pretty clever people behind all of these advanced techie solutions, and Mukuru has just one of them. She left Rhodes University with a Bachelor of Business Science and honors degree in Information Systems, and after 16 years in IT consulting, something happened and she was suddenly attracted to a bushwhacking way of life. Just as well, like a real-life Jedi Sentinel, she makes agile work in large organizations, manages huge delivery teams, and can converse at both strategic and design levels. If you don't know what this means, basically she crafts technology solutions that meet customers' needs and creates simplicity in typically complicated tech world. To do this, she uses an unusual cluster of magic brain cells to peel back the clutter and simplify things so they're easier to remember. In her spare time, she's working on 2 projects. The first, 2 sons and a husband, and the second, cloning her team so that they can do more amazing stuff in parallel. I said she was clever, didn't I? Please give a thumbs up, snap your fingers for our innovation evangelist and ringleader of Genius Concepts, Chief Information Officer, Sandy Ritter. Hi, Sandy.
Hey, Bron. How are you doing? This
Great.
is amazing. Yeah, I'm good. If marketing doesn't work out for you, Bron, implement your thing.
Thanks, Sandy. Over to you. We're so excited to hear about all of your projects for 2021. Over to you.
Cool. Hi, everyone. Really exciting to be here. So I'm just going to talk about some of the how, from a tech roadmap perspective, based on all of the strategic objectives that have been shared by the business guys. So just to recap, we've heard about the building the brand, investing in talent, amazing stuff that Ollie and Mike are talking about in terms of where we're going with our growth levers. So really, I just want to overlay the strategic agenda of the IT product roadmap, including three strategic objectives that we're going to work with. Go to the next slide, and that is around improving and refining the customer experience, harnessing our growth levers, and of course, recognizing and evolving with business risks and what we can do in the tech space to make that happen. So we start with improving and refining the customer experience. We talk about kind of 4 key pillars in this space. The first is it being all about customer service. Guys who were at the Strat Summit last year, this really quite familiar to me. We wanted to make WhatsApp a rich channel. We really want to drive customers to sign up, and we've done an amazing job over the last year of getting that happening. Also, customer app streamlining. But this year it is really around making sure that we can add strategic stuff to that app, as well as really launching another digital platform, which is the transacting website. Contact center, enabling a world-class contact center is so important. We're going to speak about some of that. Driving our customer loyalty, support Bronwyn, and all of the amazing work that's been happening in marketing, as well as our sales agents, to kind of make sure that customers are engaged and we don't lose customers at the back of the funnel. And enabling customer service is really about our sales teams. How do we use our tech to enable and drive our sales and service? So if we look at improving and refining the customer experience, and we look particularly in customer self-service, some amazing strides in terms of WhatsApp as a rich channel and launching self-sign-up. So some of the examples of WhatsApp as a rich channel is, for example, the ability to change your WhatsApp and your recipient data, and hence some of those calls away from the contact center. You can also see an image here of the WhatsApp sign-up code. We're utilizing WhatsApp's capability to submit images to actually allow customers to sign up themselves, like when an agent can't necessarily get to them on such an easy channel like WhatsApp. And you can see on the right there what that's actually meant for us in terms of our volumes. So some amazing volumes just in the month of February when I took this in terms of new customers signing up across our digital channels. 6,500 customers just to date on the 20th of February, which is phenomenal. This year in this space, what we really want to focus on, Mike, you can go to the next slide. Oh, sorry, I'm still on last year. The other big thing that came off the line last year is our incredible customer app. And so if you guys haven't used it, behind the times you can go and download it and see what it's all about. And I just want to show you the video of what we went live with this week, which has resulted in an average number of registrations on the app of 600 a day, which is phenomenal.
Introducing the new and improved Mukuru app. Our upgraded features give you more control to manage money transfers across Africa and Asia. Sign up, create, pay, and track your money transfers instantly. Update your account, manage your send limits, reset your password on the go. Check the latest exchange rates and more. More features, more convenience, more control. Download the new Mukuru app today.
Okay, so this year, what we really want to do in this space around customer self-service is take the capability that we built on WhatsApp already and make sure that we launch that self-sign-up capability across SADC. There's going to be more than just self-sign-up. The ability to submit a document for any upgrade reason or because your recipient has hit a watch list, it hits, for example, and needs to be whitelisted. We really can take that channel and utilize it in an amazing way across our SADC. We're looking to push full service suite across the customer app. At the moment, you can really focus on creating cash orders for the customer app, but very soon creating orders for wallet top-ups and bank top-ups across the entire network is coming. And Mike also mentioned, how excited we are to get some of the wallet self-service features onto our customer app. But the big ticket item in terms of kind of really allowing customers to manage self-service is the relaunch of a transacting web portal. We've had the only space we've got a transacting web portal at the moment is in the UK. It's some of our oldest tech, and it is in dire need of an upgrade, but it's not just for the UK. This is for anyone across our footprint who wants to be able to interact with us on the web. And so that is a major project that we'll be focusing on this year. In terms of the other pillars around improving our customer service, around the world-class contact center, I've mentioned before the fact that we help to drive volumes away from that contact center by putting number change use cases and recipient name change use cases, for example, onto WhatsApp and USSD. In terms of customer loyalty, we launched two big things. We launched the Morello marketing coupons, which you guys would have all seen, again using WhatsApp for images to really hunt this product. And recently we've launched order discounts that marketing are going to start using and our sales guys are going to start using to manage the churn so that we can make sure that we're keeping our customers. And then around enabling agents and really managing the sales and service in that space, it's quite exciting. We've had our new agent app out in Zambia for a while. Those guys haven't been using the old tech for quite some time. And we are fully fledged at the moment in doing production testing with a group of agents to make sure that we can launch that in the South African context. This is a really exciting thing because it does a couple of things for us. It really manages our security and our risk. So, we can manage the agent app in a far more secure way than we used to, and that's critical in terms of our overall security roadmap. We can also make sure that we can sell a card through this app in the South African context without having to ask for proof of income, because it's not a requirement for the card product. And actually, we've managed to negotiate that we don't even need proof of address for the card product. So launching this new tech really means that selling the card becomes so much easier and it's so much more available to our customer base. We've got some exciting pilots coming in the coming years, so we can move on to the next year. So looking across these three pillars, and I'll keep talking about the agent app because that's where I was, but we're looking to utilize some biometric tools to get proof of life sort of in the moment verification of customers who sign up on the agent app. So a little video will be taken, and you'll have to wink and nod, smile, and we can then match an image from that video to the document you just submitted and get matches on exactly who you are, which is so exciting and can really drive sales in agent land. On the contact center side, the Xcali implementation is absolutely huge, making sure that our Zendesk processes are really well managed in the contact center, that we can trace a call all the way through from first line support the whole way back, as well as enable chat back to customer. And then making sure that we give Anissa and the team enough tech to enable first line call resolution wherever we can. Looking at automating incentives and really getting into channel-based pricing is something we can look at. So for example, if we wanted to punt a particular channel, we can look at order incentives in that space. And then also looking at things like making sure that this new tech in our agent land is prolific across our entire SADC footprint. So after South Africa, Malawi is coming next, and that really will enable and kind of light the spark for any new outbound territories we want to put in place. So that's where we are in the customer space. The next big growth lever is around kind of harnessing our growth. And we talk specifically here about growing the core, ramping the network, and a little bit of leverage. So you guys would have seen this Africa map before, but we really want to be, people think of Mukuru, we want them to think about this company being the answer to moving money into, within, and out of Africa. There's so many financial flows that do that. And once that money has arrived in South Africa or is being utilized in Africa, how do we use it? How do we save it? How do we leverage that cash? And it's really exciting. So if we look at what we did last year in this space, we really spoke about getting flows coming into the continent through big partnerships. And the headline here was World Remit, to really make sure that we can pick up other flows, international flows that come into the continent where we don't have a presence in that international country. We then looked at the outflows. So we've had bang and pack and flows into India for a while, but we continue to do integrations to make that a stronger flow for us in terms of the money that moves from Africa into the subcontinent. And of course, just incredible stuff that we've seen with our GeoSwift integration and flows into China. What the Malawian team has been able to achieve in terms of turning that corridor into something real has been phenomenal. And then when we look at the flows in and around Africa and the flows that are actually coming into Africa where there's an amazing payments network needed, we've had amazing support from the UK growth. We've seen the growth in the UK, and that's one of the reasons why we need to really invest in a transacting website that can buoy up that market. But painting Africa orange is what turns these flows on because of our incredible payout network. And that's all driven by our Taurus APIs so that we can standardize cash payments coming, any partner wanting to connect on the cash payment side. And we've also put cash stops tech down in Botswana, Lesotho, and Zambia at the back end of last year and early this year. We've already had always a strong cash stops tech presence in Malawi and Zimbabwe. So that's kind of what was going on last year. This coming year, when we look at what we want to do, Mike, if you can go to the next slide. This is the matrix. So we talk about lighting up the matrix. And everywhere where the block is white, the matrix is alive and humming. And that is where we have a remittance corridor connection happening. Down the left are all the countries where we send from. And at the moment, we're sending from kind of our core SADC countries as well as the UK. But we're also starting to pick up flows coming in from World Remit. Now, imagine if we added another 3 or 4 to those, what that would do to the matrix. We are licensed to send from the DRC, Lesotho, Uganda, and Kenya, as well as Canada. And so if we could turn on those flows, the matrix effect is incredible. So I'll just ask Mike to click through and kind of show you what happens when we create strategic integrations on the payout side and the pay-in side. On the payout side, when we integrate with companies like ZPay and Airtel, etc., and Kazang, those boxes in green, we can turn on hundreds of squares in that matrix through a single really good aggregator integration. And an aggregator is just a piece of technology that's done the hard work of connecting all the dots of multiple mobile wallets in Africa. So ZPay, for example, has multiple wallets across multiple different countries. We can do an integration with them and kind of light up all of that area within the matrix. When we turn on the World Remits and the next kind of version of that, what we get is payout in our strongholds. And so all of a sudden that all of those corridors, and if you count them, there's a good 10 or 20 there, are suddenly lit up for inflows at no additional cost for us on the ground, because we already have this amazing payout network. But what is so exciting is what we can do with cash stops. And that is the last block on that page, where we can actually use our cash stops tech and our agent app tech to turn on outbound from the DRC, Lesotho, Kenya, and Uganda. And that is the impact we get on the matrix. All of those corridors become available. And that is incredible platform leverage. And I am so excited about it. What we don't want is for the UK to be the poor cousin in red there anymore. That tech is quite old. And so we are absolutely bringing it into the fold with our new transacting website launch this year. Okay. So that's in terms of platform leverage in our remittances product. But there's really, as Mike mentioned, there's this amazing platform leverage that we can bring to play with tech in terms of non-remittance products. And so we are looking here at the digitization journey, as well as looking at other complementary products we can launch. So we launched the groceries product last year, which was phenomenal. And we, as mentioned, we've got this product already in bots in terms of our wallets. But it's not just that. This Mukuru payments thing is so exciting. And what it does is it just connects a business or two businesses on either end of that transaction flow. So we've already seen the business scale that we've kind of been able to bring with enterprise payment platform and aid payouts across Zimbabwe in particular, from the likes of UNICEF and working with companies like the Finmark Trust. Mike, you can kind of click through this. But now we have the opportunity to have a payments platform for the take-a-lots that Ollie mentioned, etc. And as we start to digitize the customer on the left, moving into the digital space where we digitize the merchant on the right, we've got some really amazing stuff to deal with. So last year, as I've mentioned, bulk disbursements came out. We looked at Finmark Trust. This year, there will be so much more in that space. And there is an entire sales team going into the likes of Zimbabwe and Malawi to activate payroll solutions through our Cash Stops network, where people need to pay their staff in cash. And as soon as the wallet is there, we can pay them digitally. And those payroll solutions are so exciting. This Mukuru Pay concept of kind of going and paying with your take-a-lot order online at Mukuru Pay, getting companies like DSTV to access the incredible cash network we've got in places like Malawi and Zimbabwe and actually get paid through a cash pool through those networks. On the wallet side, Mike's already shared with you this roadmap, but it's moving beyond Botswana into a full launch in bots, and then looking both in the Malawian space and the South African space to get that wallet tech stack up and running, and then to also look to expand our groceries product. So looking to put that into the Malawian space as well. But there is so much we can do with this Mukuru Pay story, and so it's really, really exciting. Finally, incubating concepts for growth. I think we spoke quite a lot about what we want to do in the loans pilot space. We're looking to kick that off again at the back end of this quarter into Q2. So this year, if you can click through, we'll be really looking at what we do in the loans pilot side. We want to definitely look at savings products linked to this wallet architecture. We're going to trial it first in Malawi this year, but it is not limited to Malawi. It really is something that we just want to test. The world of tech is around piloting something, building it, putting it out there, learning, iterating on that. And so for that reason, we have done things like launch the wallet architecture in Botswana first. We will try the savings architecture that comes off the back of that in Malawi first, so that we can learn. And by the time we ramp up the tech across the entire network, we really know and we're competent and we're confident about the tech that we're launching. So some exciting stuff in the growth lever space. The next major strategic objective that we look at from a tech side is really around this amazing concept of recognizing and evolving with business risk. There are big compliance programs that we run and that have legs on the technology side. One of the biggest ones is our risk-based approach that has allowed us to launch in South Africa KYC Lite or Mukuru Lite, Mukuru Core and Mukuru Max, and actually create the tech flows and processes that give customers who want to send a small amount of money to put food on the table access to that product without having to jump through documentation hoops. And what that means is USSD is a sign-up channel. I can't say enough how phenomenal I think that is. That if you cross this country and you go into a rural area, as long as there is a tiny little bit of USSD, you can get access to the awesome stuff that is our Mukuru service. And the risk-based approach has really allowed for some of that. But there's a lot of other stuff within this compliance space that we need to deal with. And as we launch full platform in the UK, and as we kind of deal with the legislative frameworks in South Africa, we're looking at GDPR and POPI compliance. And what that means for our tech is exciting. It means that we really understand what our customers want to know about us. We can deal with their requirements in terms of personal data in the correct way. And at the same time, it drives our security agenda. We are nothing if people cannot trust that we will safeguard their money well. And so we need to make sure that our security roadmap is top of mind this year. And that really has a couple of pillars. You know, we talk about access control, we talk about business continuity planning and disaster recovery, making sure that we really understand our change management cycle so that we manage change and the risk that comes with it as we put incredible changes through our tech and operational processes on a daily basis. And making sure that we have secure endpoints so that people can't hack into our network through the devices we all carry around, and making sure that that works. We look at vulnerability management. So where are we vulnerable to hackers, and how are we gonna manage that? Are we training for security? So do all of you guys understand where we are at risk and how we can manage that? And then of course, application security, building security right into our code. And there's some exciting roles that are coming up in that space with Ronnie and with Craig. So the next slide just gives you an overview of kind of what that security roadmap looks like. And there is a lot going on between our DevOps departments, our dev departments, change management teams, and the BI space driven by that security agenda. So guys, this is a lot. If we, my final message, I suppose, is we always at Mukuru take on a lot. I love that. I love the fact that we have the energy and, we back ourselves to say, look at this incredible strategic agenda, because when you put it down, the chances of meeting it are exponentially bigger than if you don't. And so we will continue to put it down. And sometimes that's quite a lot, and sometimes that's a bit overwhelming. But in general, it's really exciting to be able to say, this is our strategic intent. This is all the stuff we could do. And for us as a tech department and an exco to really work with what that means as an HOD team. But there are a couple of things that are non-negotiables for us. And these 7 things are how we will measure success at the end of our next financial year. And that is really around protecting the core. As Andy alluded to, what used to be a problem for 1 or 2 customers a day, when our volumes hit 1.4 million in December, now it's a problem for hundreds of customers a day. We can no longer have an operational process that deals with that. We now need an automated process that really deals with that. And a lot of that is around the critical support that we need to give to our operational support teams and our servicing teams to automate stuff that is no longer an edge case. And that we call that protecting the core. As our volumes increase, we cannot afford for many, many customers to be not having a great experience in that space. Things like Xcali and our Zendex projects are absolutely top of mind there. The Wallets launch is a headline project for this year, and Mike's given you a lot of information about that. The other headline project this year is bringing our UK corridor into the fold. And through doing that, we will launch the UK customer app in that space, and we will launch a new transacting website that backs onto our new Taurus architecture so that the UK gets access to that matrix effect and it doesn't remain the poor little cousin. Booth tech everywhere is really important. So when I showed you what the matrix effect is of actually enabling outbound on the DRC, Lesotho, Uganda, Kenya, etc., and what that looks like, we can do that through full service suite at booth. That means that we can sign up on the agent app, create pay in and pay out at booth with our cash stops tech. And so we're going to be looking to make sure that we push that hard in Malawi and then start pushing that hard in terms of other strategic brands and utilizing this to really light up that matrix. And there's some tech work that we want to do on those in those booths. We want to make sure that we're ready for that kind of scale in terms of float management and recons around our cash logistics. We want to make sure that when we put down a presence of 800 booths, that you can potentially go and get a refund from that booth if you paid for your order and your recipient can now for some reason not collect. I've mentioned the security roadmap and how important that is. We also want to leverage this Mukuru payments opportunity because we can put an enterprise on one end of the leg in terms of a remittance flow. And that is exciting in terms of more bulk disbursements, payroll solutions, incredible aid support that we can offer, as well as collecting for enterprises, the take-a-lots, the DSTVs, and walletizing a merchant so that they can actually be in the world and manage that through USSD access, unheard of for a merchant. And then we will continue trying to scale the network. There is going to be another World Remit that knocks on our door, which will be very important. We need to make sure that we do strategic binds with aggregators that give us major footprints in the wallet space across Africa. And on the tech side, when we scale, it means we have to keep our technology house in order. And that is our Taurus roadmap. And we will be spending a lot of time doing that. But it's exciting and we're really looking forward to it. And if we can pull off things like this, I think the world is our oyster.
Wow, 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 Sandy. Thank you so much. I don't know how one person is able to manage all of these moving balls at the same time. You definitely are an inspiration.
Because one person doesn't. I don't.
You are the leader and your team that supports you are phenomenal too. But thank you, Sandy. Before we get into your questions, I just want to say, guys, at home, everybody is looking phenomenal. I'm loving the Mukuru spirit that's out there. Everybody's showing off their orange and their cow and their his and their Africa. It's just making me so happy back in the studio. I just want to remind you, in order to win those vouchers, hashtag MukuruSpirit21 on Instagram, guys. Get going if you want to win some really cool prizes. But next, a famous person once said, once I know the proper question, I could solve the problem in less than 5 minutes. You probably guessed it, guys. It was Einstein who said this. You've also probably guessed that we have a question for Sandy, and it's from David in none other than marketing. So Sandy, David asks,
biased MCs there. You gotta watch out for biased MCs.
What is the future of our app? Is there a timeline for feature releases and which feature releases will take first? And then why is it that the app is not available on the Huawei new phones?
Okay, great question, David. So we are actually currently right now in sprint dealing with the app going to the Huawei store. So I'm hoping that that will be completed by the middle of March. The team is working hard at that. And so, yes, that was a little bit of a hole, but we are plugging it. In terms of the app roadmap, there is a defined roadmap and we can definitely engage more on that. But what we want to do is we want to add to the existing feature set for our remittance product first. And so what that means is that we want to add mobile wallet top-ups to places like Lesotho, Mozambique, etc. And we want to make sure that customers can buy airtime, DSTV, and electricity, the VAS products on the app. And at the same time, we want to bolster all of the first world use cases that would be expected in the UK market. So we're ready to go for a launch there. And that's really around card payments and interesting payment gateways like Apple Pay that are top of mind for a UK customer. So we'll be incorporating those things as we go. And thereafter, closer to the back end of this year, when we're looking to get our wallet architecture migrated to South Africa, we'll be putting wallet stuff onto that app as well.
Exciting stuff. Thank you so much, Sandy. We appreciate all of the effort that you've put into showing us exactly what the roadmap is going to be for this year. I'm really excited about what the future holds for Mukuru, guys. Any chance, perhaps, Sandy, I could get a job in your team? Maybe I should ask Chaps, but Chaps, we'll chat after, okay? But
you
now...
can chat afterwards, but maybe we should just MC some stuff.
Sandy, you are a jokester. Thanks so much. We'll catch up with you later. So somebody has to keep a check on how the Mukuru off-roader operates, isn't it? As a whole, we're in a good shape to reach our customers wherever they need us. That's what we need. For this, you need an all-round expedition head honcho to make sure there are maps and timelines for the trip, that the right supplies have been brought on board, and the lines of communication are humming, so we hook up with our customers at the next expedition checkpoint. Maker's expedition head honcho began life in the mailroom. Okay, I heard all of you gasp, but wait, obviously there's more. Having satisfied his taste for pushing envelopes, he climbed that ladder, moving from mailroom to big bookkeeper all the way to accountant. At this stage, far north in the colder climates, he exchanged accounting for project management, working for a remittance competitor who we shall not name. Now, sales and operations, office management, projects and customer service all work together as a well-oiled machine. And when they do pop the odd nut from time to time, he makes everything better, drawing on reserves of patience that can only be described as supernatural. And he sprinkles every problem with magic, which is true grit. Please give a thumbs up and snap your fingers. You know how I like it, guys. For our chief of other stuff, no one has the intestinal fortitude to take on our ninja of operational excellence, Chief Operations Officer, Steve Eckard.
Yay, and the crowd goes, wow, fake applause, amazing. Thanks, Bron, for the longest intro ever. Quite a summary of my life. Let's get straight into it. Welcome, guys. I think we're going to start off, and we've done a bit of this before, but I'd like to just do a quick review of 2020 because there are some amazing numbers we do need to double click on. Firstly, what we don't talk about often is the 3 million support conversations that we had to have in order to facilitate transactions between potentially 7 million customers. We have more than 300 new starters joining the Mukuru family, which means we are onboarding people at a rate of none. We have added 677,000 new customers to the Mukuru family in 2020 across multiple geographies. On the geography front, we are also now head office across the world, not just in South Africa. We have offices in London, Tendaseka, Cape Town, Joburg, Pretoria, and Sarajevo. For 2020, we also landed on the elusive 70% mark for world-class in terms of customer satisfaction, which we chase every single year. And then we have over 800 orange booths that we have placed across Africa and the rest of the world. Another thing that we want to look at that we've worked very hard in 2020 is trying to figure out how we run the business outside of our email inboxes. And we've done a lot of work trying to get this onto Zendesk, and we finally have some visibility around just how many problems we are solving day to day when we don't have the happy case, but we have to deal with the unfortunate unhappy case. So almost 600,000 tickets solved by the business across the business, and now we know how long it takes for us to solve it. 9.3 hours, working hours, is what it takes on average across the entire group for us to help out our customers when they come unstuck. We see a graph here of the customer satisfaction score over the last, I think it's 5 years that we can see there. And what is important to note is that as our scale increased as a business, we could see that the rate of tickets and queries that we were getting in was causing our customer satisfaction rate to drop. We had to do something about it because it was not possible to manage this straight from an inbox. Introduce Zendesk, and we can see that the hard work that all of you are doing in getting your teams onto Zendesk and making sure that we're accountable to customers, not just by emailing or replying to an email, but making sure that we are tracking how fast we solve that query and how many people it takes to solve it. The beauty about this is that we now have visibility around where our strengths and weaknesses are, and it also helps with things like telling us what time of the day are the most busy hours for Mukuru. This helps us in order to workforce plan better and make sure that we have enough staff around. If there's queue times, that's an issue. We can also make sure that we are staffing enough of our booths correctly. Secondly, we also now have an indicator across not only external customers, but also internal customers around the satisfaction rate in the quality of our responses that we give. Even though that score is still high at roughly 82% in December, what it does show for us is that we do struggle around peak. Now that we know and now that it's visible, we can do something about it. We, for the first time, can also see just which of the support teams are doing how much work in terms of ticket solving. We can see that our digital support team, wallet team, and number change team are carrying a huge amount of the weight in terms of tickets that are raised with them. More importantly, though, what we are seeing is the time it takes to resolve that ticket exclusively, as well as how happy are people or customers, internal and external, with what we are providing as a solution. There are some mind-blowing moments where we had trouble in quantifying just the amount of work or contribution that certain teams give to the business. Example being the number change team doing 90,000 ticket support queries related to number change in 2020. So the amazing thing that we have now is we have visibility. And there's a thing that I always drill home is about quotes on measurement. And we have the original gangsters here. So Francis Bacon, whenever you can count, you should. Einstein, not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts. It's a very verbose way of just saying count what matters. If it can be expressed in figures, it's not science, if it's opinion. I completely screwed that one up, but essentially, if you can't express it in numbers, it is just an opinion. If you cannot measure it, you cannot control it. So that is the main thing that I always try to push home with the teams, is to make sure that you know at least where your benchmark is and your baseline is. If it moves, it can be measured, and if it can be measured, it can be changed. Okay, so much wow, amazingness, 2020, that's what we did. What else happened in 2020? Something that I think would be remiss if we don't touch on it at least a little bit. We had the coronavirus that impacted our lives significantly. We had to figure out, as a first mover, how we move our entire operational business unit off-site. And then we applied for approval because we knew that our customers and our frontline staff needed to get back on the ground to facilitate the transactions and ensure that people are getting the remittances that are so crucial to their survival. It was also not that easy for people working at home. We had to adjust to a new way of working, a digital way of working. With schools, staff members became not only just parents, they were teachers, they were day carers, everything. And there were some funny moments in life where we can see, the most infamous quote of, "I'm not a cat." So life was tough in 2020, but we had an amazing year, and it's all thanks to you guys. Right, so after everything that's been said by Sandy in terms of the amazing products and our dev roadmap, where we're going to get to, what we have in terms of strategy of our product from Ollie, where we are going next in terms of the future, I can see you guys asking, well, Steve, what do these three movie posters have to do with anything? Well, I like to draw some kind of visual cue along with what the psychology is that we are going to need to get through all of these ambitious things that we have for 2021. And the psychological equation for success in my mind for 2021 is speed plus grit equals limitless. Now, this is the thing that I want to imprint in your brain, and it's not only for 2021. This is something that we can probably take across into the future forever. As we know, in 2020, we had a big focal point on speed. The definition of speed being the rate at which someone or something moves or operates, was able to move or operate. The reason why speed is so important is not just because it's something that Steve wants, but when we are surveying our customers, we see that their feedback comes specifically around three things. The top two that always comes out in surveys is ease and reliability. But those are kind of permission to play things that we need to do. These are expected when you are in the business that we are. In terms of speed, this is the thing that comes up the most when we have conversations with customers about what they truly value. And I know Bronwyn showed an amazing video about just the importance around our customers and what we're actually doing. But to take a quote directly from a customer, you send now, within a minute, people that other side will sleep with their stomachs full. There are multiple other quotes in terms of the videos that has been shown and the feedback that we get from customers showing just how important it is that we execute at speed. We do a lot of work in terms of our product design and development and the channels that we choose to ensure that speed is something that we do through everything to make sure that it's easy for the customer. That is the happy case. Sometimes we have unhappy cases, and that triggers a race to the end of the finish line. A USP that Mukuru has as a business is that we are able to execute on the unhappy case just as well as our tech and service can execute on the happy case. When running a marathon, you're not just running the marathon to complete it, or some of you are, but that is giving you a participation trophy. The thing about a race is the person who wins is the person who does it in the quickest time. So we're in a race against the clock when there is an element that the customer needs service support on. Those things, if I just call out a few, would be things like queue times at our booths and at our branches, full resolution time, which we now know as a business across all of customer support, how long it takes for us to solve a query completely, and how many departments it touches whilst getting there. More importantly is the feedback loop. So there are going to be situations in the business where we can't give an answer immediately. What is very important then is that we make sure that we keep that line of communication or the feedback loop open to ensure that we are not leaving our customers in the dark when there's something so crucial as sending emergency funds across or receiving a salary in your Mukuru card. We know that our customers require us to call them back because we know that data is a very, very expensive thing across Africa. So we've got to be sure that we are monitoring our callback times and getting on that immediately. And I'm very glad to hear that we've got on the roadmap Excali as our omni-channel, which is going to make sure that the callbacks that are currently living in Valtari are routed directly into the dialer to make it easier to execute on and more efficient. More importantly is our promise when we are sending a voucher across. That SMS or text message is a promise for money. We've got to be sure that we are monitoring to make sure that that promise lands when it should. And I know that Lindley and our application support team, along with Ronnie, is doing a lot of work to ensure that our carrier filters are not blocking our messaging that is going through. I know that our product team is looking at alternative ways where you can access your voucher so you don't have to be so reliant on SMS. Time to refund. If we just get to the point where there is no return, we need to be sure that we are keeping our promise to our customer that if the issue is with us, we are executing on refunds swiftly and efficiently. The reason is that if you execute with this, the goodwill that that customer will have towards your brand will stop them from spreading negative word of mouth. So the whole thing that you can see here with all these elements is this thing about time. So the concept of speed. Okay. In a race against our competitors, where we've gone through the USP of reach and price and ease and reliability, the last vestige that we have is speed. We want to be this guy, the guy that takes every single step to be the first person in running in that customer service race and beating that guy at the end there. Okay. Amazing videos that come through from Bronwyn about why we do everything, but I do want to draw your attention just again to there are warm bodies behind everything that we do. There is a reason. When we are moving to this digital realm in which we do business, it could become easier to forget that there is an actual human being with a real life need. It is very important that we keep these people in mind when solving customer problems. Okay, so the next important thing that I want to talk to you guys is grit. Now, the psychological definition of grit is that grit is a positive, non-cognitive trait based on an individual's perseverance of effort combined with the passion for a particular long-term goal or end state. After that amazing mouthful, what do we actually want to take from this? Well, what we want to take is the word, it's positive, not negative. There's perseverance linked to it of effort, passion, and it's all driving in the faith that there is a long-term goal. Now, why do I raise this? Before we talk about what grit is, I want to point out what grit is not. Captain America, if you die, you just walk it off. This is not grit. And this is sort of the old definition when that word is mentioned that everyone thinks, oh, just toughen up and harden it out. What I see grit as is actually not that. And I'm going to use a graph to illustrate to you guys how I see this working out. Spoiler note, this is actually Mukuru's transactional graph in terms of our performance. The beauty here is if we look at this in terms of a business, we can draw a parallel to our daily state or our emotional states in life. These could be the ups and downs in your life. The road is bumpy all the time. There are moments where you're standing on the top, feeling invincible, but you might have some anxiety creeping in around, can I maintain this? There are also moments when you're at your lowest low and you feel like you cannot go on. And there are multiple of these over time, which brings on anxiety, concern, elation, all those sort of emotions. What that does is it actually depletes your adrenal gland and you're in a hyper state of continuous switched on mode. And the reason that I'm raising this is very pertinent to where we find ourselves today in terms of the pandemic. Now, the way that you can deal with this is to consider that, yes, the road is bumpy, but if you smooth out the curve of the day-to-day ups and downs, and you have faith in the long-term goal of where you are taking your life, and also where we as Mukuru are taking a business, you will see that it's a line that's linear and graphs and trends upwards. So it's called emotional smoothing of the curve, so smoothing your emotional curve. I'm not the first person who've thought of this, so I encourage you guys to go look up Jack Conte, who is the CEO of Patreon. There's a great video where he talks about this sort of emotional state. So, grit, in summary, it's smoothing out the emotional curve. Now, it's important to acknowledge that there will be days where even the best of us, looking at Lionel, will have a down day. It is okay to acknowledge that. It is okay to acknowledge that you can't pull yourself out of that moment either. So either you pull yourself out and motivate the team, or you look to your peers, or your friends, or your family, or your Mukuru family to lift you up. If those two things are adhered to, if we add speed with grit, and we smooth our emotional curve, we really have limitless potential. But there's also something in terms of limitless thinking. So the definition that we have is without end, limit, or boundary. Okay. Let's see if this is applicable to something other than Mukuru. So if we take our psychological equation of speed plus grit equals limitless and apply it to SpaceX, they had a grand vision or goal to do something that hasn't been even considered possible for hundreds of years, is to reuse a rocket that has been successfully landed. If we look at speed, they took less than a year from their first attempt to do a successful landing. They were applying the principles of try and fail fast and don't give up. After their first successful landing, they had two very expensive failed attempts, but they knew that they were doing something greater than themselves and even greater than the sum of the parts. So their grit stuck through. After that, they had multiple successful landings, leading to the first reused rocket. They didn't stop there, though, which is this construct about limitless thinking. It's not about arriving at a point where you can rest and feel, oh, that's great. You can reflect on a milestone, but that creates a ceiling where you don't want to stop. So limitless thinking is where they took this next. And that is where Elon Musk said, wow, let's do interplanetary civilizations and build the biggest rocket ever known to man called the Starship. So how do we draw parallels of this to Mukuru? Well, we have Andy over here, and we have our network, which covers about 70% of Earth's geographical size. What is our Starship? Well, we have our technology, and we have our infrastructure. We have our people, and then we have the multiple products that Mike and Ollie are going to vend through this infrastructure, ensuring that we are also thinking limitless. So a summary. What we need to get through this and achieve all the things that have been listed out by Bron, by Sandy, by the two Mikes, by Oliver, is we have to think speed. We need to ensure that we are doing things fast, both in the happy case, when our tech is flying and everything is working as it should, but also in the customer service unhappy case, because it is a customer need. Grit, because that is the spirit, our staff passion, our perseverance. It's making sure that you smooth your emotional curve. The road is bumpy, there are going to be ups and downs, but we have faith in the longer term goals of the business. If we are thinking like that, we have limitless potential and we have limitless thought constructs to break through that glass ceilings. So, In summary, we have how are we actually going to do this? And I know that there's a lot of things being spoken about this, which is how do we build for scale? Okay. I've welcomed on board a couple of staff members here, and we'll talk about just the reason that I've brought them on here in a couple of seconds. But first, let's talk about the building for scale. When we as a business grow, our operational complexity increases as we get more customers, more footprint across the entire network. The rate at which our operational sophistication grows sometimes doesn't keep up with that complexity, and we have to start closing the gap. So everything that we do through 3 lenses, which is people, process, and systems. We have to reduce the operational complexity. So speaking to things that Sandy mentioned in terms of automation and tech, it is important that we automate and reduce the risk of human error in terms of the staff tools that we are using, our technology. Secondly, we want to push as much as we can to the customer to help themselves. And then lastly, we want to enable the staff with the correct tools, the correct data, the correct training. If we do that, we are reducing our operational complexity. We need to increase the blue line to close the gap in terms of our operational sophistication. We need to hire correct, we need to train right, we need to onboard right, mentor and coach, encourage the personal development of individuals, and improve and document our processes. So all the amazing things that Shaps has been talking about. Why do we do all these things? The reasons that we do all these things is because we want to be more than just a single product. We want to be more than just a single geography. We want to be more than a single customer segment, more than a single nationality. Diversity, right? To close this all off, and the reason why you see these lovely people standing next to me right here, is that the most important people in the business, and what I don't want us to lose touch with, is that in a digital world where everything is going more online, there are warm bodies that are helping customers from the field to the headquarters. We have Nodumo, who makes sure that the safety of our staff in our head offices is always kept up to date. We have Leland, our new head of customer, who's going to make sure that we are living and breathing what the customer does, and we are going to shape the priorities of our products with that. And then we have Lee here, Leanne, who's going to make sure that all the projects and all these large ambitions that we have actually get executed on. So from myself, and I think from everyone in Mukuru, I just want to end off by saying thank you very much to the people in this business, the warm bodies in a digital sphere. Thank you very much for all your effort. We really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Steve. You're making me a little bit jelly that I didn't bring my team. You thought of that last minute this morning, and now I'm really jelly.
You're not supposed to say that, Bron. Come on.
Just a shout out to my team. If you don't feel loved, you are loved, okay? I love you. So thanks so much. We do have a question for you from one of our Mukuru family members. She asks, so how do we get staff to submit ideas to the organization, including staff who are on the ground, like agents? What exactly is the feedback loop?
I'm glad you asked, Bronwyn. So, guys, first off, I just want to touch on something here, is that we are not yet that size of organization, nor do I think we ever will become, where you have to wait for permission to air your suggestions. My direct email address is steve@mukuru.com. We are not hierarchical. You can send that through to me. But the same way that we are collecting voice of customer feedback from our customers through the self-help channel and suggestions is a great point. And we have launched voice@mukuru.com, which is the email address that we're going to share with the business. That is going to go directly to our customer team, who is then going to prioritize that feedback, join it with what the customers are saying, and make sure that it shapes the products in the direction that we go in.
Thank you so much, Steve. I really appreciate that. I'll be popping an email soon. Thank you so much. Next, we have a few live questions. Now, this is going to be really interesting because I don't know who the questions are for or where they're coming from, but I'm really excited to head into it. So, can we go to Iron? Iron, we have Iron coming up on the screen right now. Hi, Iron.
Hi, Bron. Just to say I love you too. Thanks for the shout out.
She's on the marketing team, as you can tell. So, Iron, what question do you have for any of the panelists?
My question, and it probably is a question for Mike, but the question is around cryptocurrencies. Is it time, or will it ever be time for Mukuru to embrace cryptocurrencies?
I think we can actually bring Mike onto the set for that one. Mike is coming to answer your question, and we really appreciate all of you guys that have answered questions. If we're not able to answer these questions today, we'll definitely get back to you after Summit. So Mike, would you be able to answer to Iron's very interesting question?
Yeah. Hey, Iron, that's a great question. I think in terms of where we're looking at cryptocurrency now, we're not going all out on it, but what we are looking at it as an asset where a customer could purchase it and hold it and then sell it. So it's definitely an idea on our roadmap. It's something that we will explore. In Andy's presentation, he did mention alternative saving and investment products, and crypto is definitely in there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mike. If you can just stay there, because we have another question for you from Rudo. Rudo will be coming up on the screen. Hi, Rudo. How are you?
I'm all right. How's it going?
Good. Are you enjoying the summit so far?
I'm enjoying it very much.
I'm glad. I see that you're wearing your Mukuru bandana and your Adidas top there, representing. So, Rudo, if you can pose your question to Mike.
Yes, Mike, I heard you speak about the security around the Mukuru card, where the chip is coming, and also, what people will be capable of doing with the Mukuru card. So I'm more wanting to know about the charges, the monthly charges. Are they going to go up, or is it going to be, standard?
So my understanding of the question is, when we launch the EMV card, will the charges go up because it's a more expensive card with more features? Rudo, we are doing everything in our power to keep the monthly fee where it is. So as far as we can right now, we're not planning to raise that fee when we launch the new card. We just want to bring that as added value to our customers.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Pleasure.
We're so excited about the rest of the summit, so don't go away. However, before we head into a special performance by world famous Larry Soffer, I think it's best if we take a 5-minute comfort break. So guys, be back in 5 minutes, grab that cup of coffee, give your dog a little smooch, and see you back in exactly 5 minutes. Remember, no hiding behind those black screens when you get back. We still want to see your Mukuru spirit, and you could win a 500 Rand Takealot voucher. Remember to hashtag Mukuru21 on Instagram so that you can stand a chance to win one of quite a few 500 Rand Takealot vouchers. See you soon. See you in a bit. Now it's time to open your minds, because in the minutes that follow, impossibility will cease to exist. You're about to experience the magic of Larry Soffer, a mentalist, illusionist, and magician so powerful that he has become a brand in himself, a magic legend performing to audiences around the world. But wait, a question before we start. Why bring you the mind-bending experience of Larry Soffer at our Business Strategy Summit? You see, Larry's first of its kind, out of this world. Illusions and mentalism have the power to inspire you to believe in the impossible, to truly believe that you are capable of creating magic in your life. So here goes. Are you ready for this, Mukuru? I present to you Larry Soffer.
Is that Prince Harry?
Oh my word!
This will be unbelievable. So you ready for this?
Yeah.
Big bang. You see it?
Oh my god!
Stop, that was an F.
Nice, yo, that's crazy, dude. Whoa.
Thank you very much, Bronwyn, for that wonderful introduction. My name is Larry Soffer, and I'm a mentalist. I read minds, I predict the future, I bend metal, I do weird and wonderful things. And you guys are going to get to experience some of that here today. I know it sounds interesting because how are you going to be affected in your own home while I'm here in studio? I know you guys have got that thought in your mind, but it's going to happen. So in order to get started, I think it's really important that we get started with a little bit of a warm-up, just to get you all into the swing of things. So if we could get some volunteers onto the screen for us, and then that way I can interact with just a few of you. And even though you're not on the screen at home right now, I want you to interact with us too. So I'm going to interact with the volunteers just over here. So very nice to meet you guys. How you all doing?
Good, thanks.
Very good, Larry.
Awesome, awesome. Great to have you here. Wonderful, wonderful. So it's awesome to have you here. We're going to get started with a little bit of a warm-up just to get you into the swing of things. So everybody raise your right hand like this. Excellent, and you guys can do it too, perfect. And take your index finger and your thumb and place it together so you create a little circle. So even though you're at home right now and you're not on the screen, I want you to do this as well. So everybody make that little circle with your fingers. You guys have got it. And everybody take that circle and place it on your chin. This is your chin, guys. But if you thought that this was your chin, that just shows me how easily you're going to be able to be influenced here today. So we're going to have a lot of fun here today. To get started, we're going to get started with these guys over here. I see that you're all pretty smart. It's going to be a little bit difficult to influence you because you all knew that this was your chin unless you went from one to the other. I'm not too sure. I wasn't looking at that point. But you guys can drop your hands right now. In fact, probably Tracy, I think you're the one. We're going to use you in just a little bit, okay? Okay, Tracy, we're going to use you in just a bit. And is that Yemurai?
Yes. Yes, you got it.
Great. So Yemurai, you and I, we're going to do something very special together. I've got a deck of cards over here. And Yemurai, I've placed one card upside down in this pack. I believe that that's the card that I'm going to be able to influence your mind to think of in just a few moments. Sound pretty cool?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Yemurai, I'm so certain that I'm going to be able to influence your mind to think of that card that's upside down, that if I get this wrong, Yemurai, I'm going to teach you how this effect works.
Okay.
Does that sound pretty cool?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, before I continue, I just want to know, how do you guys do a round of applause? Do you all snap your fingers? Great. So that's what you do when you want to show some love? Perfect. So that's what we're going to stick to throughout the show. Wonderful. So Yemurai, first choice is, are you going to think of a red card or a black card? Yemurai, do not say it out loud. Just think it in your mind. Have you got something? Perfect. Yemurai, immediately when I look at you, just by being able to read you, I'm getting that you've gone for the wrong color. So I want you to switch to the opposite color.
Okay, got it.
Very good. Now, Yemurai, tell everybody, what is the color that you're thinking of right now?
Black.
Black. So initially you went for red. I was able to read your body language and your mind to know that you went for red, and I coaxed you over to switching black. Other than that, that was pretty fair, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So Yemurai, now that you've got black, just so you know, most people in your position would go for a club, which is the black flower. Obviously, the black heart that's upside down, that's a spade, right? So you got clubs and spades. Most people in your position would go for a club, but maybe you think that I'm telling you that so you could actually go for the spade. Or maybe I'm giving you this whole scenario, Yemurai, so you would actually stay with the club. So I know it's a little bit of a psychological game here, Yemurai, but you go ahead, you tell me, which one are you going to go for right now?
I'm going to go for the spade.
The spade. So imagine all the numbers and the picture cards out in front of you. Which do you choose, the numbers or the pictures?
Pictures.
You're going to choose the pictures. So you've got the jack, the queen, and the king. I want to be very fair about this. And you've obviously chosen spade. So for the first time, Yemurai, tell everybody, if I had to push out one card and it had to kind of pop into your mind right now, what would it be, a jack, a queen, or a king?
A jack.
A jack. This is so interesting, Yemurai, because you could have chosen absolutely any card, but I told you that I was able to influence you to think of a particular card. That's why I've got one face-up pack here inside this box. inside this pack, I've got one card that's turned face down, like I told you, in the entire face-up pack. Yemirai, wouldn't it be so weird if that was the... Yes!
Oh, no. No ways. No ways.
So crazy, right? So crazy. Now, Yemirai, I know this was just a little bit of a psychological game and I got you into thinking that card, but that seemed pretty fair, didn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty fair. So we're going to take this to the next level right now, Yemirai. In fact, I want everybody to give Yemirai another huge hand. Everybody snap your fingers for them. Great. So Tracy, you and I, we're going to play a little game. Have you heard of Guess Who?
No.
You haven't heard of the game Guess Who? Well, let me explain to you and all the viewers at home how this works. Basically, Guess Who is a board game. You have different characters. In this case, Tracy, you would choose to be a character out of the characters that you have provided to you, and I would choose to be a character, and we would try to guess each other's characters. We're not going to play this board game here today, but we're going to play something similar. And instead of you trying to guess my character, I'm just going to try and guess yours, and you've got to try and beat me and try and block me from getting your thoughts in your mind, okay? And I've kind of memorized a lot of celebrities, especially current celebrities, so actors and singers and so on. And so I want you to think of an actor or a singer, somebody who's contemporary, somebody who hasn't passed on. Just think it in your mind.
Is it actor or actress?
Actor, actress, or singer, totally up to you, yeah.
Okay.
You got somebody in your mind? Now, Tracy, just so everybody knows, we've never met before, right?
No.
So, Tracy, how do you know it's me?
I'm
just teasing you, Tracy. I'm just teasing. I'm checking to see how sharp you are. So, Tracy, you've got an actor, actress, or singer in your mind right now. I want you to think of this person. Never give anything away, all right, Tracy? So never give anything away. I'm going to try and read your body language. I'm going to try and eliminate certain characteristics about different actors, actresses, and singers. And hopefully I can narrow it down to get the exact name that you're thinking of. Does that sound pretty cool?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, great. We're going to try it. I can't guarantee it's going to work, but we're going to try it. So just look at me. Don't ever say anything out loud. Don't ever move your lips. Try not to move. Try and keep a poker face. Does this person have brown hair? Just think it in your mind. Don't say it. Okay, very good. Is this person a male? Just think it. Okay, very, very good. Does this person have facial hair? Tracy, I'm getting something here. I'm going to try a few more. Is this person a child? Is it a male? Is it a female? Female, male, child? Wow, you got a really good poker face there, Tracy. I think I've got this. Let me try and get this over here, Tracy. Okay, so Tracy, I'm going to write down the name that I'm getting from your mind right now. I'm hoping that I get this right. I think so. Wait, I spelled this wrong. Let me just rub this out of here because I spelled that wrong there. Great. Tracy, I'm going to leave this over here. Tracy, I've never spoken to you before. We've never met. You've never told anybody else of what actor you might think of right now because you didn't even know this was going to happen to you, right?
Yep.
So Tracy, for the first time, tell everybody, what is your celebrity's name?
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. You could have thought of anybody in the world, but you thought of Meryl Streep. This is so interesting because remember I asked you if this person was a male and then I went on to facial hair. So for that time period, it actually seemed like I was getting this wrong, right?
No, I just thought that was just a little deviation. Facial.
Well, that's interesting, Tracy, because it was a bit of a deviation. I didn't say that I wasn't going to mess with your mind, Tracy, because that's exactly what I did. Because I also went for Meryl Streep.
That is amazing.
Noise!
So crazy.
No, that is crazy.
Crazy, right? So,
Yes.
so I wanted
I
to...
changed my mind a few times too. So
Exactly, exactly. So, so we don't need any volunteers on stage with us just yet. So we don't, thanks guys, not just yet. Let me just wipe this out, but thank you so much. Okay, great. So I'm just going to wipe this off here, and I'll put this over here. So right now, let's see, who else are we going to use? Iron, I don't know if I'll get to Dwayne as well, but I'll try and see if I can do something with you, Dwayne. Otherwise, Dwayne, you'll be able to partake with all of us in just a moment. So Iron, we've never met before, right?
No.
Okay, cool. And there's no idea, there's no way that I could have any idea of what you're about to think of right now, right?
Hopefully not.
Okay, because you don't even really know what's about to happen, do you?
No.
You know that I'm going to read your mind, but other than that, you have no idea, right?
Yeah, a little scary. Let me clear my mind.
Okay, cool. So, Iron, I'm going to try and form a connection with you, and I'm going to see if we do have this connection here today. And if we do, then we're going to try a very fascinating spiritual experience here together. So, Iron, I want you to imagine going onto Google in your mind right now. Just in your mind, you don't actually have to do it. And I want you to imagine searching for anything in the world, and you get a few articles coming up. And I want you to scroll down through those articles just in your mind, Iron. And I want you to click into an article. And then I want you to scroll down through the article, and you're seeing different words in the article, and one particular word just jumps out at you. Do you have something?
Yep.
Okay, good. Iron, immediately I'm getting that you went for one word and then you changed your mind to another, right?
Stop it.
Yes. Iron, I want you to imagine the first letter of the word that you have in your mind right now. Just imagine the first letter. You got it?
Okay.
Okay, good. And then I want you to skip all the way to the end of the word. And then just before the end of the word, just before the last letter, go to that second last letter.
Okay.
Have you got it? And I want you to imagine either, I'm going to see if I can connect with you, imagine either a week or like a day in the week, like Monday through Sunday, or a month, so a month's name, or a holiday. Can you imagine one of those with that letter, that begins with that letter?
Okay, got it.
Okay, good. Just think it in your mind. Never say anything out loud. Look at me. Okay, good. Day, month, holiday. Day, month, holiday. It's a holiday, isn't it? Yes? Can you imagine? Yeah? There's no way I could know this, right? So, like you're just basically randomly thinking of this right now for the first time, isn't it? Yes?
Yes.
Yes? Can you imagine what you're doing on that holiday?
Yeah.
Very good. I'm imagining, or what I'm getting from your mind at least, is I'm getting you out in the garden. Does that make sense? And are you're like looking for stuff, right? Like some sort of hunt? Yes? Are you like hunting for Easter eggs? You're thinking of Easter?
No, stop it.
Now, before you thought of Easter, you thought of a word, right? Just this random word in your mind, yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I want you to spell out this word in your mind, never out loud. Start now. Stop, Iron. That was a V that you just looked at. Was the third letter down, letter V, right? So, okay. So, all right. So Iron, from the letter V, I want you to keep spelling now. Stop, that was a T, yes?
Yes.
Yes? I know you're freaking out a little bit, Iron, because it's impossible. There's no way, right? So, Iron, right now, you freaked out so much that you actually went to the end of the word and you looked at a letter S, did you not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop it. Get out of my mind.
You were thinking, this is crazy. Somehow this guy's in my head and he knows exactly what my word is, yes?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Now, Iron, I have no idea what your word is. Can you just spell it out from beginning to end, just in your mind, never out loud, start again now? Advantages?
No. How?
Now, Iron, I know that we have a very special connection here today, and I know it seems impossible even though you're in your home and I'm here in the studio, but we're going to take this a little bit further. I don't know if you guys have experienced out-of-body experiences before, or at least if you've heard about it. Iron, have you heard of an out-of-body experience before?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, you know, it's said that some people are able to move out of their body, travel to a completely different place, and have a conversation with a person in that place, but in a spiritual form, not in an actual physical form. And nobody else would ever know about this conversation because it was a conversation between two beings. Iron, you and I, we're going to get to experience something like that here today. Does that sound pretty cool?
Yes.
Yes?
I think so.
Okay, awesome. So, Iron, where are you sitting right now? Which part of the house?
I'm sitting in the lounge.
In the lounge. So I want you to close your eyes right now. And I want you to imagine that you're sitting in this lounge where you are actually sitting, and I want you to imagine the different parts of the lounge around you. Just imagine the different objects, the different things that you see, right? And Iron, I want you to imagine an object in this lounge or outside, totally up to you. And I want you to imagine this object in your mind, a simple object that you could draw. Do you have something in your mind? Very good. Now I want you to imagine walking over to the door in the lounge. And when you get to the door, you take hold of the handle and you slowly open up that door, and there's this white glowing light that you see. Almost as if it's a portal to another, like a completely different place. And right now, Iron, you step through this portal and you step into your dream destination, wherever that is in the world. Iron, I want you to imagine the scenery around you right now. I'm going to try and move from where I am and come and meet you. We're going to have this out-of-body experience together here, okay? So I'm going to try and meet you. You're seeing me walking over toward you. And Iron, immediately I'm getting like very tall buildings. Does that make sense to you? Yes? Like skyscrapers, yes?
Yeah.
And I'm getting it's like almost like sunset. Does that make sense? And not only is it almost sunset, but you see lots of lights around and like thousands and thousands of people.
Yes.
Yes. I'm walking over toward you right now, Iron. This is what you're seeing in the environment, is it not?
It is.
It is. And I'm walking over toward you, and Iron, I want you to imagine yourself leaning over toward me, and you whisper in my ear. And you whisper the name of the simple image that you can draw. Never say anything aloud, never move your lips. Just do this in your mind's eye right now. Very good. Iron, I got it. I got what your simple image is. I'm moving back. I'm coming back into the studio right now. When I snap my fingers, you'll appear back in your lounge and you'll open up your eyes. Iron, tell everybody, how did that feel?
Do I have to be in my lounge? Can I not be there?
I totally understand. And was it some sort of calming experience? Did you feel like a heightened energy of sorts?
Very calming, kind of surreal, almost like an experience I've had before.
Interesting, interesting. So Yaron, when we met in this place, you leaned over, you whispered in my ear, and I got an idea of something, and I'm going to draw that in just a moment. But I did tell you that I was imagining a very high-rise building, skyscrapers. I was imagining a lot of things around, like lights. I don't know if LED screens make sense to you. I was also getting like a museum. Were you there at a museum as well? We were shifted over from some sort of museum to like, was that?
There were the stairs.
Yes,
Yeah.
with the stairs.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
we shifted over. Was that too? We shifted over like momentarily to Times Square. Were you thinking of New York?
Yes.
We were in New York together, right?
What? Yes. Holy monkey. Oh my goodness. Stop it. Get out of my mind.
Now, Yaron, I don't know if you have a pad and a pen with you. Do you perhaps have a pad and a pen?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool. And make sure it's a clear sheet of paper and you have a pen. And I'm going to draw what I got from you whispering to me just a moment ago when we were in this place together. So I've got something like this, and I think something like this. Yeah, I think something like that. And then I'm going to draw. This is a little bit difficult to draw. My drawing skills aren't that great either, but hopefully.
Neither are mine, so let's see.
Hopefully this makes sense. Something like this, and I'm going to just say what this is. And tell me, Yaron, have you finished your drawing yet? Not yet?
Almost.
Almost? Okay, we'll give you a moment. We'll give you a moment. And you let me know when you're done. Let me know when you're actually done with your drawing. And don't show anybody, just keep it to yourself. You can even hold the drawing against your chest when you're done. Almost done.
Yeah,
it's a little bit difficult to draw. I even found it a little bit challenging, but that's why I wrote a word here just to kind of describe it. Because Yaron, I'm getting, it was something in your home that you were thinking of. That's what you whispered to me, and it wasn't something on your desk either. You were thinking of something on the ceiling, right?
Yes.
Yes. So Yaron, I want you to close your eyes right now. Close your eyes. Don't look. I'm going to show everybody what I got. Okay? And Yaron, I want you to don't tell anybody what it is. Just describe it.
Okay. It turns. You switch it on. It's really great for summer because it cools the room a little bit.
Yaron, you're describing this perfectly. I want you to show everybody your picture and open up your eyes, see what I drew. Yes, you can see it's exactly a ceiling fan. That's what you were drawing, is that right? Yes.
Oh my word!
Thank you very
That
much.
is insane.
So crazy, right? So Yaron, you were doing so great. Thank you so much. We're going to get the other guys back on right now.
Wow.
Cool. So we're going to interact with all of you guys right now, and we're going to try something together where we all get to experience something magical happening in our homes together right now. So Dwayne, I know that I didn't get to interact with you personally, but Yaron and the rest of you, you did great. It was so wonderful interacting with all of you and getting into your thoughts. So right now, it's really important that you guys get out your elastic bands. You guys got your elastic bands, that's great. I'm just going to get 2 different colors, and I'm going to show you a simple magic trick that I learned when I was a kid, and then we're going to see if you guys can do this, okay? So let's do this. So I'm going to place this blue elastic band around my 2 fingers like this. Don't know if you guys can see that there. All right, so it's just around these two fingers. And even though it's around these two fingers over here, I'm going to make a jump from here to here like this. I don't know if we can get a nice tight shot, if you guys can see that. I'm not sure. Yes? We'll just make sure that you guys can see that. Can you guys at home see that? Can you see the elastic bands around my fingers? Okay, if we can get it. No? No? Okay, is it possible to get a tighter shot, guys? If we can just get a nice close-up. Great. Can you see it there now? Yes, I know it's a little bit difficult to see, but we're going to go like this, all right? So there it is, and watch, like a little snap of the fingers makes a jump from those two fingers to those two fingers like that. I'm going to do it again. So even though it's around these two fingers over here, I'm going to make a jump from here to over here like this with a snap of the fingers. All right.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to make it even more challenging. I'm going to take this elastic band and twist it around my fingers so to create like a barrier. So there's no way that the elastic band could get from here now to over here through this barrier, okay? So here we go. So even though it's around here, I'm going to make a jump from over here to over here like this. Yes? So I know it looks impossible, right? It looks impossible. So we'll try it one more time so you can see it over there around those two fingers. I'm going to do it one more time so you guys have a good look. Here we go. And you can see it actually jumps, right? You can see it actually jumps. So we'll try this again, but this time you guys are going to do it. So everybody at home right now, I want you to take your elastic bands and I want you to make the one elastic band jump from the two fingers to the other two fingers. Do that now. Let's see if you guys can do this. Okay, good. Very good. Very good.
How did you do that?
Can you guys do it at home?
No. No.
No? Okay. Well, why? Why? For the simple reason that you don't know how. So let me show you. So first of all, nice to meet you. What's your name?
Nolu.
Nolu, nice to meet you, Nolu. And we have?
Oliver.
Oliver. Nice to meet you, Oliver. Great. So Oliver and Nolu, I'm going to teach you guys how to do this right now. And I'm going to teach everybody at home. So I want you to take your one elastic band, put it around the two fingers, and this is the secret move. But this secret move, it's important that you don't ever show anybody. It's done behind the hand, okay? So this is the secret move. You pull down like this, and then you tuck all four fingers inside and let the elastic band rest around those four fingers. Yes? Have you all got it? And then so Nolu, let me show you again. So you pull down and put all four fingers inside. So all of them inside and let it rest around the fingers. And then when you turn this way, it looks like it's just around two, but when you open up your hand, it jumps. Amazing, right? So I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to show you how it goes with the other elastic band, because you're probably thinking, what about the barrier, right? So everybody take the one elastic band, the other one, and just twist it back and forth around your fingers. So you create a little barrier. Very good. And then do exactly the same move. You pull down, tuck all four fingers inside, and when you open up, it jumps. And you're probably wondering, how does it do that, right? Well, all that's happening is the elastic band's moving from here to here like this. That's all that's happening. It's moving from here to here. Pretty cool, right? Did you all get it? You all got it at home?
No.
Did Dwayne get it? Did Tracy get it? Did Yamarai get it? Yamarai and Tracy didn't get it. I'm going to show you guys one last time, okay? I'm going to show you guys one last time. So this is the secret move, but you do it over here behind your hand so nobody sees. And then when you're showing your friends and your family, it's important that you look in their eyes, all right? It's important that you look in their eyes so they don't look and see what the trick is that you're doing, all right? But this is the secret move. So you pull down, tuck all four fingers inside, and let that elastic band rest around the four fingers. Let it rest around the fingertips, but from this side, it's just around two. And when you open up, it jumps. Did it happen for you guys? Did it happen, Tracy and Yamarai? Yes, great. Everybody give yourselves a huge round of applause. Great. So now we're going to try something where everybody gets to experience the impossible happening in your own homes. But before I do that, the reason why I showed you this right now is for two reasons. First of all, you got something really cool that you can show your friends and your family. And second of all, I know that we're in extremely difficult times on this planet right now, but I believe that the only times that we failed in our life is when we didn't apply the knowledge that we already had, or we didn't have the knowledge that we needed to begin with. So that brings about two very simple solutions. Either apply what you know, or go out and get the knowledge that you need so you can make your dreams become a reality for yourselves and for your company. So I'll say that one last time. I believe that the only times that we failed in life is when we didn't apply the knowledge that we already had, or we didn't have the knowledge that we needed to begin with. So that brings about two simple solutions, and those simple solutions are either apply what you know, or go out, get the knowledge that you need, and make your dreams become a reality. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, great. So we're going to do an interactive piece right now. So does everybody have their cards with them? I hope everybody's got their cards. Let me get you your cards, guys. Great. So we've got 4 cards here for you. Okay. And we've got 4 cards here for you. And 4 for myself, all right? So make sure that everybody's got their 4 cards. Just like this. That's great. All right, and everybody shuffle up your cards. Everybody shuffle up your cards, give them a good mix, mix them however you like. This next effect is called the love ritual. And the reason why it's called the love ritual is because, like all this shuffling, love can be very confusing. But at the end of the day, love will bring us all together, okay? So we've got Nolu and Oliver. Oliver, and you said? Noni. Nolu. Oh, okay, I did say it right the first time. So Nolu and Oliver. So take your cards between your hands like this. Make sure that they're just 4 cards. Okay, and you're going to hold them in the 2 short ends, and then you're going to take the center of the cards. I know it takes a little bit of muscle, but just tear them in half. And make sure that all the pictures are facing the ground, all right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Very good. I know it takes a little bit of muscle. There we go. I'll give you guys a few extra seconds to do it. Excellent. Now you're going to place one pack on top of the other, one half on top of the other, whichever way you want to do it. Oh, Nola's still tearing.
Struggling.
Can you? Oh, there we go. You're getting it. You're getting it. And put one on top of the other. Excellent. Then you're going to take 3 cards off the top. 1, 2, 3, and then place it somewhere, place those 3 cards somewhere into the middle of the pack. Not at the top, not at the bottom, somewhere into the middle, it doesn't matter where. Very good, very good. Then, oh, by the way, I almost forgot, but this is a good point to do this. So take the top card, don't look at it, and if you guys are sitting down right now, put it underneath your left cheek or your right cheek, totally up to you, just not somebody else's cheek. Okay, good, or in your pocket will do fine. Now you guys are going to either decide, or in fact, Nolu, are we going to take 1, 2, or 3 cards off the top? You tell me. 2. So everybody take 2 cards off the top and put it somewhere into the middle, somewhere into the center. Not at the top, not at the bottom, somewhere in the center. Excellent. Now at this point, you can decide at home yourself. You can either do absolutely nothing, or you can take 1 or 2 or 3 cards off the top and put it somewhere into the middle. Not at the top, not at the bottom, somewhere in the middle. So either do nothing or take 1, 2, or 3 cards and put them somewhere into the middle. Great. So now we're going to play the love ritual, guys. This is where we play the love game. You're going to take the top card, and everybody repeat nice and loud after me, even you guys over here on the screen, all right? Everybody repeat after me. So you're going to take the top card, and you're going to place it to the bottom, and you're going to say, she loves me. Or for the ladies, you can say, he loves me, or whatever your preference is.
Right.
He loves
me.
He loves me.
She loves me.
Very good.
He loves me.
Good. Take the next card off the top and throw it away and say, she loves me not. Or he loves me not.
He loves me not.
Very, very good. Take the next card off the top and place it to the bottom and say she loves me.
He loves me.
He loves me.
He loves me.
Very good. And we're going to throw our cards forward this way. Is that okay with you guys?
All of them.
Yes. No, just one. So you're going to take the one off the top now, and you're going to say, she loves me not, and throw it that way.
He loves me not.
He loves me not.
Very, very good. Very good. The next one, take it to the bottom And with passion, say, she loves me.
She loves me.
He loves me.
Very good. Take the next one off the top and with vigor throw it away and say, she loves me not.
She loves me
He loves me not.
Very good.
She loves me not.
The next one, take it to the bottom and say, she loves me.
She loves me.
He loves me.
He loves me.
Very good. The next one, take off the top and with anger, throw it away and say, she loves me not.
She loves me not.
He loves me
She
not.
loves me not.
Great. The next one, take it to the bottom, say, she loves me.
He loves me.
He loves me.
The next one, throw it away, say, she loves me not.
He loves me not.
Loves me not.
He loves me not.
Good. The next one, take it to the bottom, say, she loves me.
He loves me.
He loves me.
He loves me.
Good. The next one, throw it away and say, she loves me not.
He loves me.
He loves me. He
So you all should be left with one card right now. Everybody show me your card. And this is where the impossible happens in your home. I don't know if you guys felt that, but something should have happened to that card that you were sitting on. Everybody take it out and bring it out and show everybody. Does it match? Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. You guys were amazing. Thank you so much. Great. Awesome. So we got one last special thing for all of you guys. I believe that we're all energetically connected, and that's why I'm here today, to be connected with all of you. So we're going to try something with the both of you right now. So we've got Nolu and Oliver, yes?
Yes.
Cool. So we can be ready for all of this. You guys have no idea what's going to happen, right?
No clue.
Okay, cool. So something very special is going to happen right now. I want you to have a good look at each other right now and just get a good idea of what you both look like right now. That's great. I'm going to connect both of your minds in a very interesting fashion. I don't know if you guys have experienced this at home, but you may have experienced finishing somebody else's sentence or knowing what the other person was going to say before they said it, right? Or maybe you thought of somebody about to call them and they were calling you in return, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, happened to you guys? Happened to you guys at home? Yes? Okay, great. Yep. Great. So we're going to see if we can connect your minds in a very interesting fashion in this regard right now. So you had a good idea of what you both look like. I want you to face the front, relax your arms by your side, and close your eyes. Very, very good. And I want you to imagine that you're walking down a garden path in your mind right now. Okay? And as you're walking, you're going down the garden path and your bodies are starting to become relaxed. You're starting to near the end of the path and you're approaching a mirror. Very, very good. Oliver, in that mirror, instead of seeing yourself, you're starting to see Nolu. And Nolu, you're starting to see Oliver. Now, I want everybody at home, you guys at home right now, you're going to let Oliver and Nolu know what is going to happen. In fact, you're going to let them know afterwards, okay? So you can just shout out loud yes or no to my questions when I ask you, all right? Great. Or you can nod your head or shake your head, totally up to you. So right now, Nolu and Oliver, I want you to be aware of every emotion, of every sensation, of every touch, because in a moment you're going to feel me touch you, you're going to feel where I touch you, how many times I touch you, and so on. Just be aware of that, all right? Don't say anything, just be aware. If you felt me touch you right now, I want you to raise your right hand into the air. Nice and high, please.
No way.
Excellent. Lower your hand. Point with your right hand to where you felt me touch you. Very, very good. Lower your hand. Lower your hand. You guys are doing great. Count how many times I touched you and show everybody on the fingers of your right hand. That's pretty close, right? Pretty close. Nolu, you're doing great. Oh, there we go, Nolu, you got it. I want you to extend your right arm just out to where you hear my voice over here, just at a 45-degree angle. Just to where you hear my voice, Nolu. Extend your arm out to the side, Oliver. Very good. And keep your hands straight, Nolu.
Like that.
Yeah, so I'm just going to touch you here for a moment, just like that, all right? So Nolu, just see Oliver in your mind, but keep your eyes closed, okay? Keep your eyes closed. If you felt a light touch, point to where you felt that right now. You can use your left hand. You didn't feel anything? Okay, good. Oliver, lower your left hand. Nolu, just keep seeing Oliver in your mind and just be aware of him in your mind, okay? It's really important that you're aware of him. If you felt like a prickly feeling on your hair or something like that, point to where you felt that. Excellent. Lower your hand. You guys are doing so good. Lower your hand. Lower your hand. Nolu, just keep seeing Oliver in your mind, but keep your eyes closed. Did you feel a little tickle or a scratch? Point to where that just happened. Excellent. Lower your hand. Right now, you guys are seeing each other in your minds in that mirror. When I snap my fingers, you're going to open up your eyes, but right now you're starting to see yourselves instead of seeing one another. I'm going to come back with some 3, 2, 1. You're going to open up your eyes and feel refreshed. 3, 2, 1. Now, guys, they have no idea what just happened, and you guys can look at the screen over here. Tell them, did I touch Oliver? Did I touch? Yes, every single time? Yes?
Yes.
Did I ever touch Nolu?
No.
That's nonsense.
But what happened every time I touched Oliver, she felt it in exactly the same place, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now the really freaky thing is that Nolu and Oliver, this effect lasts for about a week. Thank you very much, everyone. Great to be here. I'm Larry Soffer. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Now that blew my mind. What a day it has been, guys. We've taken a trip in our Mukuru off-roader that's flying into the future, sometimes along familiar paths, other times into uncharted territory. We've bent your mind and inspired you to believe that anything is possible. And while we sometimes wish for a perfect road, creating the magic of innovative financial products and services can only be achieved when we tap into our own magic. Our ability to be fully accountable for our individual mandates, to have the courage to think past the lines, to care more, and to take every action we possibly can to move towards our goals. That's the Mukuru magic, and that's the Mukuru spirit. Now, before we hand over to Andy for closing words, I want to announce a few of our Mukuru dress-up winners. You have each won yourself a 500 Rand Take-A-Lot voucher. We have Kat Stevens coming through with the OG Mukuru spirit all dressed up. We have Danielle all in her orange. We have Mika, we have Dougal, we have Potlako. Yes, we do. Potlako, you were looking absolutely fantastic. And of course, we have Thelma, who was looking amazing in her orange gear. So guys, you need to contact Mukuru Marketing to get your 500 Rand voucher. Not forgetting Andile, I saw you. You actually won a voucher too, so congratulations. Now, who better to close our virtual strategy summit than our Chief Navigator, Andy Jury. Over to you, Andy.
Thanks, Bron. Wow. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I can feel Mukuru magic is alive and well. I can feel the spirit. Impossible is nothing. In fact, this audience has so much orange energy coursing through their veins, it's making me do things. Look at that. Mukuru power right there.
Wow.
Larry, thanks so much for showing us that the horizon is not a barrier. It's just the start of the journey. Ladies and gentlemen, we spent a lot of time today demonstrating that we've thrown, the conventional map book, the roadmap to one side and built our own. Grit plus limitless really is Mukuru magic. And it's been wonderful to see that in evidence today. Thank you to the audience for the attentiveness. I know sitting on a Zoom call as one of 154 people, I think, where we maxed out at, is hard to do for 4 hours. You've been amazing. Thank you to the team of presenters who did an incredible job of encapsulating months and months of work into 15 minutes worth of synopsis. Bron, you've just been unbelievable. I think everybody needs to give a round of applause. It truly was absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you, Andy.
Not something that take center stage, and that time is just truly unbelievable. And then last of all, to the Mukuru Nation, to each and every one of us in our roles as participants, as employees, but also as family members. It is just amazingly galvanizing to feel that orange energy, that orange blood coursing through all of our veins. This mission we have to paint Africa orange, to make the customers at the center of everything that we do, regardless of where we are, what time of day, where we are in the cycle. It's amazing to see it manifest. And I know that at the moment, this construct of physical distance is very acute, particularly on a day like this where we share so much fellowship, fun and focus in our history. But if we take a step back, it is just amazing to feel that emotionally, we are truly one in our spirit. And that Mukuru magic, that Mukuru spirit. So I say, halala Mukuru spirit, halala. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Andy. What a way to send us off. But as a final goodbye, I'd like to call up all of the phenomenal speakers, Ollie, Steve, Shaps, Mike. Of course, we have Andy and Sandy dialing in. Now, if you're wondering how we were able to present to you from this beautiful setup, it's all been, well, let's take a look. Are you guys ready? You guessed it, it's green screen. Yes, all this time, it's been green screen. So from all of us in studio, thank you for your time and yes to a successful and epic 2021. Bye, guys.